Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Ringwood. Kate Kennedy here with you. It is Waynoka Railroader basketball time once again, and we thank you for tuning in to KALV. Welcome into the Waynoka Railroader pregame show brought to you by Mock Resources. What should be an intriguing one tonight. It is homecoming yet again. It's hard to think. It was homecoming Tuesday when Waynoka went to O'Keene. It is homecoming once again as Waynoka goes to Ringwood to take on the Red Devils, and what should be a fun matchup between Waynoka and Ringwood. Getting into it, looking at our matchup here, is we've got about 6 minutes to go until we are underway already. Homecoming festivities have happened, all sorts of stuff. We appreciate, no matter where you're watching or listening, whether it be KLV, whether it be the traditional FM 99.5 or 97.1 in Waynoka, whether it be the AM 1430, or whether it be on Facebook Live or even YouTube at KALV Radio on any of those places, or KALVradio.com. We always appreciate, no matter where in the world you are tuning in or watching, we always appreciate it. But let's get into the matchup. The Lady Rails of Waynoka and the Lady Red Devils of Ringwood. Waynoka coming into this game, coached by Robin Klein, a record of 5-8. A Waynoka team that was on the road at O'Keene on Tuesday, and a game that they had some fight to them. They continued to get in some difficult situations, but just about every time they did, they found a way to wiggle out of it and continue to claw around and make that a game. If you remember Tuesday, we talked about it a bit. O'Keene was comfortable making it lower scoring types of games, and that was unfortunately the trap Waynoka got into. They started to play O'Keene's type of game, and when you get into your opponent's type of game, they like to control the matchup from there, and unfortunately, that is what happened to the Lady Rails. They're falling 38-28 to O'Keene. But this is a Waynoka team that we talked about it a little bit, what they've done at the Burlington tournament. Had that nice win over Sharon Mutual, 41-24, before running into back-to-back ranked opponents in Hillsdale Christian, who's number 6 in Class B2, by the way. That's a Hillsdale Christian team that is extremely impressive, and then playing Corn Bible Academy last Saturday, and unfortunately, that again, a Corn Bible Academy team that's number 16 in Class B2, and falling to them 46-32. Taking a look at the Ringwood side, this is a team coached by Kyle Hatfield, kind of a younger team. Ringwood kind of in that same boat as Waynoka, where you're just continuing to develop. You get better every single game. This is a Ringwood team that is 3-12 so far on the season, but they are on a 2-game win streak going back to the O'Keene tournament. Ringwood was also at the O'Keene tournament, and so their first round, they lost to Thomas 58-14. That's a great Thomas team. That's a Thomas team that was ranked earlier on in the season in Class A, has continued to just get better over time. Battled Hinton the next game, lost to them as well, 43-28, but then won the 7th place game over Gary, 53-19, and then Ringwood was able to take on Allie and Cleo as well. And that was a 51-16 win for Ringwood. So they were 1-12, and then so far, Saturday and then Tuesday, they're starting to find a little bit of momentum. They're starting to feel themselves a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see tonight for Waynoka just how they play this. A Ringwood team trying to get a little bit of confidence, try to put already put 2 wins together, trying to put a 3rd win together now. It's going to be intriguing to see how it all plays together. But we've got a little bit to talk about as well, because there's also some big stuff coming up. I want to talk real quick while we have the opportunity. Monday night, that's 6:30 Monday night, the annual Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction is coming up. That will be at the Waynoka School. There's a lot going on. It's not just basketball this time of the year. It's your 4-H, FFA, all sorts of stuff going on across, not just Waynoka, all of Woods County, really just about all of everywhere. It is continuing to be okay. We've gotten back into school. Things are continuing to get busy, and it's just going to get even busier from here. This is the calm week, and there's still already so much going on. But it should be a fun one here, Waynoka and Ringwood, as we've still got about 3 minutes to go until we are underway. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
Alva State Bank and Trust Company, older than Oklahoma, big enough to serve you and small enough to know you.
We love to give back to our customers. Did you know Alva State Bank offers a great rewards checking account program? That's right. You can earn cash back or high interest with our Kasasa accounts. We will even refund you up to $25 in ATM fees.
How do I qualify?
It's simple. Just swipe your debit card 12 times, sign up for online statements, and have one ACH credit or debit post to your account.
Can I do it online?
Yes. Just visit our website at www.alvastatebank.com to see if our Kasasa Rewards program is right for you. We make banking easy. Whether you're at home, the office, or in your car, our online or mobile banking options help you juggle busy schedules and financial needs.
We plant roots where others have branches.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back to Ringwood here on the Waynoka post-game, or the Waynoka pre-game show, I should say, brought to you by Mock Resources. It's about time for the national anthem, so we'll listen in to the national anthem. And there we have the national anthem, and now we'll get ready for the starting lineups for both sides.
Waynoka Lady Rails under Coach Robin Klein. Number 2, Aubrey Delano.
Starting with Waynoka, it'll be number 2, Aubrey Delano. Number 4, Briley Beck.
Number 13, Devin Seeger.
Number 13, Devin Seeger.
Number 21, Temperance Boziden.
Number 21, Temperance Boziden.
And number 22, Shay Wilson.
And number 22, Shay Wilson. So the same starting 5 for Waynoka. Waynoka wearing the maroon jerseys and maroon shorts with the silver numbers.
And for your lady with the Bulls, and the head coach Paul Hatfield, assistant coach Clayton Cohen.
And now look at the starting lineups for Ringwood. Be number 4, Gracie Benson, or actually, well, we'll go it again. It'll be number 5, Addison Hafner.
10, Yuridia Laura.
Number 10, Yuridia Laura.
Number 11, Anna Rojas.
Number 11, Anna Rojas.
Number 15, Daria Resendez.
Number 15, Diara Resendez.
Number 22, Miss Anna Baker.
And number 22, Anna Baker. And so that'll be the 5 for Ringwood. Ringwood wearing the white jerseys and white shorts with red and black stripes down the side. So 8 minutes officially on the clock. Refs getting into their positions. One final huddle for both sides, and we are just about underway. I want to remind you tonight that the first quarter is brought to you by Rick George and Associates. When it's time for taxes, don't get second-class help for the most important business decision in your world. Get with the best. Rick and Matt at Rick George and Associates in downtown Waynoka. As we are just about ready for the opening jump, ball is up in the air, and it is won by Boziden. And so Waynoka will have the ball first, going from right to left across your radio dial. Ringwood will go from left to right as Boziden looking for someone to go on the right side to open things up. Now backing up towards center court to the Red Devils logo with Red Devils and the basketball in the center. Boziden now looking for somewhere to go. Starts drifting right before finding Seeger in the corner. Back over to Boziden. Bobbles the ball for a moment. Still looking for someone to drive inside. Finds Delano at the top of the perimeter. Sends it back Seeger's way. Still in the right corner. Looking for someone to go with a quick bounce pass around to Beck. Quickly playing it out to Delano before dumping it inside. Back to Beck. Kicking it out to Wilson. on the left wing before a quick dump pass to Delano. That gets tipped around. Delano able to retrieve it, give it back over to Wilson. 7:20 to go in the opening quarter. No score yet, as Beck able to dish it away back to Wilson, who finds Bozeiden in between the two circles. Waynoka wanting to take things slow here early as Bozeiden drives inside, loses the ball out of bounds, back over to Ringwood. And so Waynoka not able to score on its opening possession. 7:07 to go. Still a long way to go in this game, of course. Opening quarter, no score yet. As Laura for the Lady Red Devils takes the ball, she'll play make to start. Gets up towards the top of the perimeter, looks for somewhere to go, ended up traveling with it. So Waynoka able to force an early stop. Seeger on the inbound, able to get it into Bozeiden right by the Waynoka bench. As Bozeiden looking to direct traffic once again, makes her way out towards the right side, finds herself open, fires up a three. That one just a bit too strong, but into the arms of Beck, who gives it back over to Wilson. Wilson inside the paint with a scoop layup that goes in, and Waynoka able to strike first to take a 2-0 lead over Ringwood. 6:37 to go in the opening quarter. And a quick pass over to Rojas from Laura, back over to Laura, looking for somewhere to go to start this game for the Red Devils. Turned it over their first time. They're going to turn it over their second time. A pass deflected by Bozeiden. Gets into the arms of Delano, tries to give it back to Bozeiden. She couldn't hold on to it. Ball eventually rolls out of bounds, and it will be last touched by the Red Devils. And so Waynoka will have the ball again. 6:22 to play in the opening quarter. Still a 2-0 lead for Waynoka. As Seeger once again inbounds to Bozeiden, making her way across the timeline. Scanning left and right before dishing it over to Delano. Delano gets it back to Bozeiden, who drives inside, head full of steam, has her shot tipped away, and then drawing a foul. So Bozeiden will take an early trip to the free throw line. Foul is going to be on Baker. That'll be her first foul of the game for either side. Comes with 6:09 to play in the opening quarter. As Bozeiden takes a couple dribbles, fires away free throw number one, and that one spins in and out. So still a 2-0 lead for Waynoka early on. Another free throw on the way for Bozeiden as she fires this one up, trying to split the pair, and that one clangs off the front iron. Fight for the ball ensues, and the Red Devils are going to come up with it via Rojas. Rojas still dribbling around, trying to navigate. Waynoka bringing some early pressure here. She's able to get around Bozeiden before quickly giving it off into the corner, finding Resendez. Resendez still trapped in that right corner, looking for somewhere to get the ball to, with Seeger just absolutely swarming her for the moment before dishing it away to Lore, giving it back over to Resendez, drives baseline into a double team, lost the ball out of bounds. Are we going to have a quick timeout called first? And it's going to be a 30-second timeout called by Coach Hatfield. So still early on here in the first quarter, and a 2-0 lead for Waynoka over Ringwood. What has been a good defensive battle so far. And once again, if you missed it, talked about it moments ago, the annual Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction coming up Monday evening at 6:30. So that will be the 19th. I want to say the 19th. I think that's right. If I can remember to read a calendar correctly, that should be the 19th. Monday evening, 6:30 at the Waynoka School. As we get back to action, Laura able to flip it into Rojas from the left wing, drives inside from the free throw line, tries a long floater, not able to get that one to go. Fight for the ball ensues. It's a jump ball. Possession will stay with Ringwood. 5:39 to go in quarter number one, and a 2-0 lead for Waynoka over the Red Devils. Quick inbound goes to Resendez in the right wing before dishing it around to Baker, still on that right side before passing it back to Laura, who heaves it over to Rojas. Lost the ball for a moment, able to spin it out to Hafner. Hafner at the top of the perimeter looking for somewhere to go. Gives it over to Resendez. Tries the long three, and that one rattles in for DR Resendez to give Ringwood the lead. 3-2 over the Lady Rails. 5:19 to go in the opening quarter. Delano on the right side, able to fling it back around to Wilson, quickly finding Beck left wing, dumping it down to Bozeiden at the free throw line. Bozeiden triple team, trying to give it back out to someone, finds Beck at the top of the key before launching it over to Seeger, who finds Wilson on the right side, back around to Seeger. Will now retreat out before flinging it over to Delano, finds herself open for a right side three. That one just a bit too strong and into the arms of Hafner. 4:50 to go in quarter number one, and a 3-2 lead for Ringwood over Waynoka. As Rojas able to spin it over to Hafner. Hafner quickly finding Resendez, fires up a three and is able to draw a foul. So Resendez just at the top of the line, so she will get 3 free throws out of this. 4:41 to go in the opening quarter. Foul's going to be on Bozai, and then that'll be the first foul on Temperance Bozai, and first foul on Waynoka all day. First free throw on the way for Resendez, up and off to the left. So still a 3-2 game for the moment. As Resendez takes a couple dribbles, fires up free throw number 2, and that one is in. So now a 4-2 lead for Ringwood with another free throw still on the way for Diarra Resendez. Third and final free throw on the way. Clangs off the front iron, takes a friendly roll, and goes in to make it 5-2 Ringwood on top of Waynoka. As the inbound goes to Wilson, she faces some pressure now. Ringwood wanting to send a trap before quickly giving it over to Seeger. Dishing inside to Boziden. Boziden goes up strong, can't get her shot to go. Fight for the ball ensues. Fight still going on, and Beck able to come away with it before it turns into another jump ball situation. Possession will stay with Waynoka. As Beck still on the floor, slid for a moment trying to get back up. But she's able to laugh it off. She's completely fine. It's always a bit of an awkward situation where you're already on the ground, have to get back up and then fall down again. Seeger on the inbound, gets it out to Bozide for the left wing. Now driving baseline, drives through 2 defenders and able to draw a foul. The foul is going to be on Hafner. That'll be her first. Second team foul on Ringwood. 4:19 to go in the opening quarter. And a 5-2 lead for the Red Devils. But Temperance Boziden back at the line. First free throw on the way, and that one skips out. As we'll have a quick sub, it looks like, for Ringwood. Trying to figure out which player's going to get subbed out. It's going to be Gracie Benson checking in for Anna Baker. Second free throw on the way for Bozine, and that one hits off the back iron and snatched up by Laura. She is able to quickly get it away to Hafner. Hafner finding Rojas. Send it back Hafner's way in between the 2 circles. 4:08 to go in quarter number 1, and a 5-2 lead for Ringwood as Resendez at the free throw line. Sends it back Hafner's way with a quick pass over to the right wing, finding Laura. Looking for somewhere to go, throws it inside. It's tipped away by Boziden into the arms of Seeger. Seeger slowing things down for a moment before finding Wilson, who races across the timeline. Now wants to slow things down on her own. Give it back to Seeger inside between the 2 circles before dumping down to Boziden. Draws another foul inside the paint. Temperance Boziden doing a good job of that right now, just continuing to get trips to the free throw line. As it'll be another foul on Addison Hafner. That's her second, third team foul for the Red Devils. Temperance Boziden back at the free throw line for the 3rd time already tonight, and this time she's finally able to get one to roll around and in. Iron had been unkind so far, but finally able to get one to go Temperance's way. Second free throw on the way, trying to get the pair, and that one will clang out. So a 5-3 ball game. Ringwood on top of Waynoka. 3:40 to go here in quarter number 1. As Laura on the right wing, once again being tightly guarded by Seeger, able to flip it around to Rojas, who quickly sends it to Resendez. Resendez thought about a 3 from the left wing before spinning it back over to Laura, quickly finding Baker, who's checked back in, before rifling a pass nearly to the head of Resendez, finding Rojas, left side 3, and that one drains in. And so Ringwood able to extend the lead 8-3 over Waynoka. 3:13 to go in quarter number 1 as Boziden tries to fling it over to Leno, and Seeger nearly run into each other trying to get the ball. Ball goes back towards the timeline. Fight for it begins. The officials are going to have a quick conversation and see whose ball it is. They're going to say was it deflected or not. Determines whether it's going to be Waynoka's ball or Ringwood's ball. They're going to say it wasn't. The ref on the far side says it was not tipped, and so it'll be Ringwood's ball. Quick substitution, though, for Waynoka is Reagan Wilson going to check back or check into the game. As the inbound goes to Loris, still waiting to cross center court, now finally does, standing in the Red Devils logo at center court before dishing it inside to Resendez. Now Resendez backs out of the right arc. Still dribbling around with it. Resendez wanting to drive baseline, sends it back over to Baker. Baker fires up a high arcing shot, but Benson able to go back up strong with it on the offensive board opportunity. Beck finds the ball, and a fight for it ensues, and that'll turn into a foul. Try to see what's going to be on. Looks like it'll be both number 4s are in the area. It is going to be on Ringwood. Yes, there we go. I thought it was. The refs just said number 4, and both 4s looked at each other. Gracie Benson for Ringwood and Briley Beck from Waynoka said, which one of us isn't on? And finally, the ref had to clarify white 4. So it is the 4th team foul on Ringwood. It's the first foul on Benson. Reagan Wilson with the ball, standing on the extended right wing before giving it over to her sister, Shay Wilson, at the top of the perimeter. Back over to Reagan, looks for someone to drive inside. Instead, flips it over to Beck, gives it down low to the right block. Poseidon attacks again. Can't get her shot to fall. Ball rolls out of bounds off a Red Devil. So 2:22 to go in the opening quarter. 8-3, Ringwood leading Waynoka. Lady Rails still with the ball as Poseidon will be the inbounder, able to fling it into Wilson. Wilson from the top of the perimeter, drives inside with a floater from the free throw line. Can't get that one to go, but Beck able to track down another offensive board, give it to Poseidon, who ends up losing the ball. Fight for it ensues again. It'll be another jump ball, possession arrow, this time going to Ringwood. So Waynoka once again just still finding a way to create second chance opportunities. They're just not falling right now. The inbound goes to Resendez, gave it back to Rojas, right back to Resendez before spinning it around over to Baker, left side, with a quick lob back to Rojas on the right wing, drives inside, tries to get a bank shot to fall, spins around and out, but tracked down by Baker. Another fight for the ball ensues and another jump ball. This time the possession arrow will favor Waynoka. 1:55 to go in the opening frame, still an 8-3 lead for Ringwood. Shay Wilson standing in between the two circles, swinging it around to Reagan Wilson, who gives it down low to Poseidon. Poseidon attacks inside and draws another trip to the free throw line. Temperance Poseidon doing a great job right now, just finding the double team and just absolutely driving headfirst into it, knowing that she's going to get a trip to the line. It's the 5th team foul on Ringwood. It's the first foul on Resendez. Poseidon's first free throw on the way, and this one is pure. As Poseidon takes a couple dribbles, fires away for free throw number 2, and that one spins in and out and is snatched up by Laura, who's able to quickly get it away to Baker. 8-4 Ringwood on top as Poseidon reaches in trying to poke the ball away from Rojas. Instead, that's going to be the second foul on Temperance Poseidon. So 1:30 to go in quarter number 1 and an 8-4 lead for Ringwood over the Lady Rails. As Laura hands it off to Rojas on the right side and fight for the ball once again, and Poseidon gets her arms in there and ends up hitting Rojas, and quickly that's the third foul on Temperance Poseidon. And so now looks like we'll have a substitution for Waynoka, and we are going to have it as Gracie Martinelli will check in place of Poseidon, and that is exactly what you wanted if you're Ringwood. Get Poseidon playing aggressively and make sure that she's in foul trouble now for the rest of the game. Ringwood still with the ball with a quick inbound back to Rojas. Rojas drives inside towards the right block, goes up strong with a shot that spins around and out. And 5 different players in, all trying to get a piece of the ball. It's another jump ball that will keep things with the Red Devils. Laura on the inbound, able to get it to Resendez. Nearly traveled in the right corner, but able to spin it around to Baker. Back to Resendez near the right block as Beck just tries to take it away from her. Forces another jump ball. Briley Beck has been doing an amazing job so far of just trying to get the ball. Just see the ball, get the ball. That's really all she's trying to do on defense right now, and she has done an amazing job. I think that's the 4th or 5th jump ball she's been a part of already today. As Seeger on the left wing, able to give it over to Reagan Wilson. Thought about driving inside towards the right wing. Finally does get inside the arc with a bounce pass that's stolen away by Laura. As Laura hands it off to Resendez, now streaking down the court. Being tightly guarded by Beck before bouncing it over to Rojas in between the two circles, giving it off to Baker near the right wing, who will quickly spin it over to Riley Perryman, who's checked in for the first time today. Perryman nearly lost the ball, and it's another jump ball. This possession will once again stay with Ringwood. 37 seconds to go in the opening quarter, and an 8-4 lead still for Ringwood over Waynoka. The inbound goes to Resendez, tries the left side tray, can't get that one to go, but right underneath is Benson, who ends up losing the ball, or ref couldn't tell which player it was off of, so he's going to call it a jump ball, and so possession will go to Waynoka anyway. 8-4, Ringwood still on top of Waynoka. Shay Wilson taking over as the point guard, so to speak, with Temperance Bozeiden already 3 fouls in the game for Bozeiden. As Wilson able to get her away to Seeger, quickly finds Reagan Wilson before giving it down low to Martinelli. Martinelli spinning around on the right block, kicks it back to Seeger at the top of the perimeter. Looking to initiate now is Seeger looking for somewhere to give it off to. Finds Martinelli once again. Martinelli looking to kick it back out to Beck. Beck from the free throw line tries a jumper. That one is able to swish on in with 4 seconds to go in the quarter to make it 8-6. Ringwood on top of Waynoka, and that will take us to the end of one. 8-6, Ringwood on top of Waynoka. We'll take a break and be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
Holder Drug, your local pharmacy. Stop in and check out some of the new available items at Holder's, starting with our hanging scrolls and banners. Expecting a child soon? Holder Drug is the perfect place for your baby registry. Find more information by stopping by the store or visit us online at holderdrug.com. As always, free delivery with your medications and prescriptions, along with specials at the fountains. That's Holder Drug, located on the downtown square, right here in Alva.
Rachel's Cafe in downtown Waynoka is like its owner, beautiful. From the front door, clear through. You'll love the look, the feel, and you'll love the taste at Rachel's Cafe. With a full menu and a daily special, Rachel's is burgers, calf fries, and much, much more. Open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 to 4 and Friday and Saturday from 11 to 7 p.m. Say hi to Rachel and her great staff in downtown Waynoka.
Welcome back to Ringwood as we make our way to the second quarter. Ringwood with an 8-6 lead over the Lady Rails. And while we have a moment, we want to tell you about the Share Medical Center Blood Drive. It'll be Tuesday, January 27th. The Blood Mobile will be at Share Medical Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information about that, please see Coco Burton as we get back to action here in Ringwood. Homecoming night for the Red Devils as Seeger at the top of the perimeter looking for somewhere to go and ends up just committing a double dribble. So Ringwood able to get a stand on its opening possession of the second quarter. What's been a back and forth game so far, as expected, between the two. As talked about a little bit in the pregame earlier, as Rojas looks for a pass that ends up sailing out of bounds. So still 8-6, Ringwood on top of Waynoka. 7:30 to go until halftime as Shea Wilson able to spin it over to Seeger, finds Wilson on the left side, tries a three, that one drains in. And Shea Wilson able to give Waynoka back the lead, 9-8 with 7:19 to go in the second quarter. As Rojas finds Resendez on the left wing, penetrates inside, has the ball poked away by Beck into the arms of Wilson. Shea Wilson driving down towards the right wing, now wants to slow things down, looks for someone to hand it off to, instead has to fling it over to Seeger at the top of the perimeter, now drifting off to her left. Able to find Shea Wilson once again. It's both Wilsons on the floor right now still, with Temperance Bozeiden with 3 fouls still sitting on the bench. Seeger finds Delano in the right wing, back over to Seeger. Will bounce it over to Delano once again, nearly has the ball poked away from her. Able to recover it, finding Reagan Wilson in the right corner before giving it off to Shea. Attacks from the block and able to score again is Shea Wilson. Just a drifting floater that falls in, and it's now 11-8. Waynoka on top of Ringwood, 6:28 to go in quarter number 2. As Resendez bounces it over to Rojas, quickly finding Baker on the right side. Gives it down low to Benson, and Benson a little bit too hot to handle for her. Out of bounds, back to Waynoka. A quick substitution as Addison Hafner will check in for the Red Devils in place of Resendez. Shea Wilson strolling across the timeline, making her way towards the top of the key. Now slows down, faces a little bit of pressure, able to spin it over to Delano, quickly finding Seeger in between the two circles. Right back to Delano, finding Shea Wilson on the right wing. Thought about a three, hesitates, drives inside, has the ball poked from behind into the arms of Hafner, who's able to clear it away to Rojas. Rojas slowly winding things back down to give it over to Hafner. Now finding Rojas again, drives right baseline, able to put up a layup, not able to get it to go as Benson able to collect the ball and then had it poked back out of bounds. 5:43 to go in the second quarter, and an 11-8 lead favoring the Lady Rails. The inbound goes to Rojas in the right corner, now faces a double team, looking to try to get out of it, able to spin it over to Hafner. Hafner quickly finding Laura near the top of the perimeter, drives inside for a long two. That one won't fall, and it spits back out to Rojas. She's able to clear it around to Hafner, who finds Baker. Baker near the top of the perimeter, throws it inside, stolen away by Shea Wilson. As Wilson streaking down the court, finds an open lane from the free throw line, jumps, and then lands back with it, and that'll be a travel. Waynoka's defense holding strong, had an opportunity to get in transition, and Shea Wilson was thinking about trying to get her 6th and 7th point of the quarter so far, already with 5 in this quarter, Shea Wilson. Instead, Ringwood back with the ball. Rojas at the top of the perimeter, looking to fling it over to Laura. Laura in the right wing, sends it back over to Rojas, who'll give it inside to Hafner. Hafner from the right elbow gives it back over to Laura. Laura tries a long three, and that one's just a bit too long. Delano able to come up strong with the board and send it over to Shea Wilson. As Wilson looking to navigate around the pressure from Laura, still trying to cross the timeline, finally does. Now slowing things down before giving it away to Seeger in the left wing, who will quickly fling it down to Reagan Wilson. Spins it back out to Delano, tries a three from the right side. That one just a bit too strong and scooped up by Baker, who gives it over to Laura, wanting to play a little bit in transition. Now she'll stop on the right wing and give it back to Rojas, who looks to operate with a long pass over towards the left side to Hafner. She flings a three, and that one will rattle around and in. And we're tied up, 4:20 to go in the first half, and it's 11-11 between Waynoka and Ringwood. And Shea Wilson able to give it over to Delano. Delano from the right side, finds underneath, cutting Seeger, and she lays it in. And just like that, Waynoka retakes the lead, 13-11 with 3:58 to go in the first half. Rojas from the top of the perimeter drives inside of the free throw line, able to go up and draw a foul. His foul is going to be against Reagan Wilson. That's her first. It's going to be a trip to the free throw line for Anna Rojas, already with 3 points on the day. Rojas taking a couple dribbles, fires away the first free throw, and that one off the back iron and out. Still a 13-11 lead for Waynoka. Second free throw on the way, and that one is in. Lady Rails still a 1-point advantage, 13-12, with 3:45 to go in quarter number 2. Seeger from the right wing, looking for somewhere to operate, gives it over to Shea Wilson, still on that side before lobbing it to Reagan Wilson from the free throw line. Goes into a quadruple team before kicking it out to Delano, finding Shea Wilson around to Seeger. We're going to get a 3-second violation, it looks like, on Martinelli, and so that'll be a turnover for Waynoka. Quick substitution as Briley Beck will check in place of Martinelli. As Rojas crossing the timeline, now making her way towards the top of the key before spinning it around to Baker. Baker quickly over to Hafner, now finding Laura on the right wing, being guarded tightly by Seeger. As Laura still trying to get out of it, gives it off to Benson. Benson from the right block, tried to go up strong, lost it, tipped out of bounds, and will stay with the Lady Red Devils. 3:13 to go in the first half, still a 13-12 lead for Waynoka. As a three on the way from Resendez, that one just spins off the rim, would not want to go down, and instead the Lady Rails able to come up with it as Shea Wilson wanted to push the tempo a bit, goes around the top of the perimeter, bounce pass over to Delano, nearly lost it, but able to recover it, flings it back over to Shea Wilson in the right corner, drives inside, lost it again, goes back up to Beck, fires up a shot, that one just a bit too strong, fight for the ball ensues once again, and another jump ball, and who else but Briley Beck in it once again. 2:50 to go in the second quarter, 13-12, Waynoka leading Ringwood right now. Rojas looking to operate, lobbing it over to Resendez on the right wing, thought about a three, drives inside for the long two instead and is able to bank it in. And just like that, Ringwood seesaws back in front, 14-13 over the Lady Rails, 2:28 to go in quarter number 2. As Seeger from the right side tries to answer with a short three, but not able to get that one to go, but it bounces right back to Seeger. Will reset on the right wing before giving it around to Reagan Wilson, finding Shea Wilson at the top of the perimeter. Thought about a three, but faced pressure. Instead gives it over to Seeger, lobs it inside, and that one's tipped away by the Red Devils. As it was Baker able to get a hand on it, now Rojas able to come away with it. As Rojas ended up having it tipped out of bounds, it looks like. Actually, it looks like it'll be a quick foul on the Lady Rails. Either way, it'll turn to Hafner trying a three from the left wing, just a bit too strong. Hafner able to save it back out near the timeline and prevent it from being a backcourt violation as Rojas gives it over to Resendez. She tries a three from the left wing. She's able to drain that one. It's 17-13, Ringwood able to extend the lead back up to 4 over Waynoka with 1:40 to go in the first half. Delano able to give it around to Reagan Wilson back near the Red Devils logo at center court. She's able to give it away to Seeger. Seeger lobbing it back to Delano, and that one just a bit too high for Delano to get to. In and out of her hands and out of bounds. As Martinelli will come back in for the Lady Rails, subbing in for Delano. It looks like we're going to have a timeout taken by Coach Klein and the Lady Rails. So 1:27 to go in the second quarter. Ringwood with a 17-13 lead over Waynoka. And while we have a moment, we do want to let you know that this portion of tonight's game is brought to you by the Long Gas Company of Alva. When it's propane you need, Long delivers to you, or you can pick them up on East Flynn Street in Alva. So call them at 580-327-1436. That's 580-327-1436. Long Gas Company, always, we appreciate their support. But still a back-and-forth game, as expected, between these two. Ringwood, we talked about it, starting to find a little bit of confidence. Beat Gary on the Saturday game at the O'Keene tournament. Was able to pick up only their second win of the season then. Then they beat Allen Cleo on Tuesday, 51-16. They're starting to feel better about themselves. And if you're Waynoka, you're in another defensive battle. You already went through one of these this week. We'll see how the Lady Rails adjust. And there's a good adjustment there as Laura throws a pass that's intercepted by Shea Wilson. She gets down to the right block, fires up a shot, and that one laid up and in. Shea Wilson continuing to be a force here with 7 points in the second quarter to make it a 17-15 game. Ringwood still on top of Waynoka with 1 minute to go in the first half. Hafner in the left corner looking for somewhere to go. Gets it back out to Resendez. She tries a long three. That one just a bit too strong, and Seeger able to snatch it and give it away to Shea Wilson, who will cross the timeline. Looking for somewhere to find any open room is Shea Wilson. Now she'll back up, reset the play, and spin it over to Seeger, who lobs it to Martinelli. Martinelli thought about a three from the right wing. Instead gets into just a bit of a wrestle for the ball, if you will, with Addison Hafner. And it's going to be a foul on Hafner. And if so, that'll be her third foul. So 40 seconds to go in the first half. Waynoka still with the ball. Get inbound, goes out to Wilson. She tries a long two, can't get it to fall, but it goes right back to Seeger, standing just in the short corner on the right side. Gets it under to Beck, and Beck tried to dribble and save it. Instead, it goes out of bounds and back to Ringwood. 32 seconds to go in the first half and a 17-15 lead for the Red Devils. As Rojas from the top of the perimeter spins it around to Resendez left wing, throws a pass picked off by Briley Beck, who's able to get it off to Shea Wilson. Wilson, head full of steam in between four defenders, had it poked away from behind, and it turns into a travel as Benson was on it, spun around trying to save it. She had the ball the entire time, and the ref calls it a travel with 16 seconds to go in the first half. So it'll be Seeger on the inbound, trying to find somebody open. Seeger gets it underneath to Martinelli, kicks it back out to Seeger for a long two right side. That one rattles around, does not want to go down. Fight for the ball ensues. 5 different players in the area, and it's another jump ball that'll keep possession with Waynoka with 10 seconds to go in the first half. Still 17-15, Ringwood on top. Seeger once again on the inbound for the left baseline, able to throw it into Beck. Beck trapped in the left corner, gives it over to Wilson. 7 seconds to go in the half, gives it back to Seeger with a long pass to Martinelli, top of the key three, and that one swishes in. Right before the buzzer, Gracie Martinelli able to knock down a three, and that'll make it 18-17. Waynoka with the lead over Ringwood at halftime. And a nice sequence there in the final minute 15 right before the half ends to give Waynoka the lead back. So we'll take a quick break. At halftime, it's Waynoka 18, Ringwood 17. We'll be back with more Waynoka basketball as we make our way into halftime here on KALV.
Warm up with a class at Northwest Technology Center this month. Choose one of our evening classes, including computer fundamentals, cooking, health-related courses, business development, and much more. Northwest Technology Center also offers training for your business at your convenience. Contact us today for more information at 580-327-0344 in Alva or 580-227-3708 in Fairview. Northwest Technology Center is preparing students for success in education, careers, and life.
When your business is agriculture, you want a bank behind you that doesn't cut and run at the first sign that there will be some tough times ahead. There are good years and there are always bad years. At Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, we're here for them all. Agriculture, it's the backbone of our local community. We believe in it. We invest in it. We're here for the long haul. If you're in agriculture, it's time to let Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma make your best even better. Contact a loan officer today. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the area's leading lender in agriculture.
We are very fortunate to live, to work, and to be able to play in this part of the world. We're also thankful for all of our blessings, our friends, and our neighbors in and around the Waynoka area. One of our big blessings is having our own animal doctor. That's Dr. Michaela Zook. Dr. Michaela Zook is now located in downtown Waynoka and can be reached at any time by telephone, 580-554-0226. Dr. Michaela Zook. One more blessing. And our hometown veterinarian.
Clean Harbors, hazardous waste disposal and recycling services provide the widest range of recycling, treatment, and disposal options for all your hazardous waste streams. Unmatched in North America, our infrastructure of hazardous waste management facilities services all of the U.S. and Canada, northern Mexico, and Puerto Rico. We handle both drum and bulk hazardous waste in liquid, solid, semi-solid, sludge, and gas forms. One call handles all your hazardous waste disposal needs. Located in Waynoka, where we proudly support our railroaders.
Welcome back to Ringwood. Here at halftime, the Lady Rails able to retake the lead seconds before the half ends on a three from Gracie Martinelli. Waynoka on top 18-17. And looking at the first half totals, how everything is stacked up so far, starting with Waynoka, it's Shea Wilson leading the way with 9 points for the Lady Rails. Gracie Martinelli with 3, Briley Beck with 2, Devin Seeger with 2, and Temperance Bozeiden with 2. The big story so far the first half, besides Shea Wilson's 9, is Temperance Bozeiden, the 2 points and the 3 fouls, as Bozeiden got in foul trouble later in the first quarter. And so Ringwood was able to take advantage of that for a long time, but Waynoka finally able to punch back right before the first half ended. And looking at the scoring totals for Ringwood so far, it's Diara Resendez with 10 points leading the way for the Red Devils, and then 4 points for Anna Rojas and 3 points for Addison Hafner. While we have a moment, we do want to talk about a few other things that are going to be going on. The annual Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction is coming up. It is coming up really soon. It is Monday night at 6:30 at the Waynoka School. Again, that's the annual Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction. That's coming up Monday night at 6:30 at the Waynoka School. It's always a busy time. You know, sports have started back up, but of course that's not the only thing. You got FFA, 4-H, all that going on as well. Never a dull moment when it comes to high schoolers having something to do. And then the Share Medical Center blood drive going on as well. That's coming up down the road too. That's only 11 days away. Tuesday, January 27th, the Bloodmobile will be at Share Medical Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, that's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Tuesday, January 27th. The Bloodmobile will be at Share Medical Center for the blood drive there. For more information about that, please see Coco Burton. But Waynoka with an 18-17 lead over Ringwood here at the half. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get in the keys to the second half. We'll take that break and be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
What do you look for in a good ag lender? Local decision making? Quick responses on questions? Personalized business packages with a focus on your financial goals? Guidance with the latest technology? On-site visits with respect for your time and your schedule? Well, if that sounds good to you, you should give us a call. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the leader in ag lending.
Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, an equal housing lender, online at farmcreditloans.com.
America's Oasis, a whole new world of off-road delight. America's Oasis, joining the north edge of the Little Sahara State Park just south of Waynoka, is open for business, and they invite you and your family to come stay and play. To explore all the possibilities, go to their website, americasoasis.com, and see the many ways you can come to Northwest Oklahoma and play in the sand. America's Oasis, an amazing concept. You have to experience it to believe it. Come visit America's Oasis, just south of Waynoka, the little city by the sand.
Back in Ringwood, Kate Kennedy here with you as we are 2 minutes away from the second half getting going between the Lady Rails and the Lady Red Devils. What has been a great game so far, 18-17, Waynoka on top of Ringwood. And looking at keys to the second half for both sides, I mean, with a tight game like this, if you're Waynoka, you need Temperance Poseidon to stay out of foul trouble. I think that's one of the biggest keys you can have, and you're getting help. We talked about this a little bit in the O'Keene game, and it was a situation where if you're Waynoka, you really have that 1-2 punch of Temperance Poseidon and Shea Wilson, and when they get going, I mean, it is an incredibly fun sight to see. And so far, Shea Wilson has been doing her part. She has half the points, 9 of the 18, and then Temperance Poseidon, when she gets going as well, of course, that could be fun to see. But Temperance Poseidon, if you can keep her out of foul trouble and get her offense starting to work, it'll be really intriguing to see how those two get rolling. You've got the help from just about everybody else, so we'll see if they can get going there. And then on the Ringwood side, it's as simple as keep finding ways for Diara Resendez to find the deep ball. She's knocked down 2 of the 4 threes that Ringwood has made today, and Ringwood has had that help. They've been able to get some shots from beyond the arc. So we are just about ready for the second half to get underway. Waynoka already back out on the hardwood. Ringwood still in their huddle. It's 8 minutes getting put back on the clock. And we are just about ready to go. We do want to let you know this quarter brought to you by Viv's Flowers and Things in downtown Waynoka. Flowers for just about any occasion. It's going to be Valentine's Day in under a month, 28 days away until Valentine's Day. So flowers for any single occasion, but that's a pretty big one. So give Viv a call at 580-824-0023. That's 580-824-0023 as we are back to action. As Laura able to spin it over to Rojas, and Anna Rojas diving inside, has the ball poked away by Seeger. David Seeger able to get a hold of it before giving it back to Laura as the ball just kind of spun around. Laura was able to pick it up, finds Rojas in the right corner, driving inside towards the block, went up strong, and it tipped away by Briley Beck. As Beck able to give it off to Temperance Poseidon, head full of steam. Poseidon drives inside, bumps off a defender with a long 2 that goes nearly off the top of the backboards, but spins in for Poseidon to extend the lead. 20-17, Waynoka on top of Ringwood, 7:10 to go in the third quarter. Rojas with the pass, tipped away by Poseidon once again. But then see where it goes. Resendez was in the area. Did it go off Resendez left? Yes, it did. It'll be Waynoka's ball. I thought it was, but the ref looked for a moment. And, I mean, that is a tough call to have to make as a ref right there when it's bang, bang right in front of you. But it looks like it did bounce off Resendez, and the ref saw it as well. A Seeger on the left wing looking to operate. Spins it over to Wilson. Shea Wilson getting it down to Aubrey Delano. Gives it back over to Poseidon. Top of the key. 3, and she's able to lick that one in. Able to just start getting hot as Temperance Poseidon. 5 points to start the third quarter. Like I said, if she gets on fire, it's hard to stop as Rojas drives back in and able to answer with the layup. 23-19, Waynoka on top of Ringwood. 6:34 to go in the third quarter. Delano from the right side looking to operate. Finds Seeger in between the two circles. before dumping it down to Boziden at the free throw line, kicking it back now out to Seeger for a right side three. That one just a bit too strong, nearly banked in, but did not want to go. Laura able to get the board before handing it off to Resendez, making her way across the timeline, bouncing it over to Rojas, extended right side, back around to Resendez, finding Hafner. Hafner trying a left side tray, and that one just a bit too strong. Beck in another tussle for the ball. It's another jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Waynoka. 6:06 to go in the third quarter, 23-19. Waynoka leading Ringwood. As inbound goes from Seeger to Boziden, right back to Seeger. Ringwood going to apply some pressure and able to get a tip away from Baker. Throws it right back to Boziden, who was able to pick it off. And now she's got some room, gets to the free throw line. Jumper, that one swishes in. Temperance Boziden with a 7-point quarter so far. We've still got 5:45 to play in quarter number 3, and it's going to be a timeout taken by Coach Hatfield and the Red Devils. 5:45 to go in the third quarter, and a 25-19 lead for Waynoka. So while we have a moment, we do want to remind you, talked about it a moment ago, a lot going on Monday, the annual Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction coming up Monday evening at 6:30 in the Waynoka School. Again, Monday evening, 6:30, Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction coming up. And then the Share Medical Center blood drive, Tuesday, January 27th. Blood Mobile will be at the Share Medical Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information about that, see Coco Burden. But 25-19, Waynoka on top of Ringwood here in the third quarter. And what is turned into an explosion by Temperance Boziden. 7 points in the third quarter so far, all 7 points for Waynoka in this quarter, and outscoring Ringwood by herself 7-2 early on in the third quarter. As we are about to get back to action here. This will be Rojas on the inbound for Ringwood. As Rojas able to get it into Resendez, right back to Rojas in the left wing before swinging it around to Hafner in the corner. He lobs it over to Baker, a little bit too strong. Wilson nearly got a hand on it, but it makes it all the way over to Resendez on the right wing, who will reset it back to Laura. Finding Resendez again, still trapped on the right side as Seeger comes over to apply some help on defense before able to get it inside to Laura. Tipped around as the ball bobbles around but gets back to Hafner, who clears it away to Baker near the top of the perimeter before swinging it around to Rojas on the left side with a quick bounce back to Laura. In between the two circles, around to Resendez, right wing, over to Baker. Spots up a right side three, and that one just a bit too strong off the backboard, tipped out of bounds by Rojas. 5:07 to go in the third quarter, 25-19. Waynoka leading Ringwood. Wilson slowly making her way across center court before giving it away to Delano. It's Delano still on the extended right side, finding Seeger in the corner. Pull back out towards center court and reset. Seeger spins it back over to Delano, throws a pass tipped up in the air. Boziden comes over to snatch it away before anyone else could get to it. Hands it off to Wilson. Thought about a left side three. Instead fires back over to Boziden. Drives inside with a long two that rims in and out. Just could not get it to go down as Rojas and Delano go for the ball. Now Seeger dives for it, but is able to tip it away to Hafner. 4:28 to play in quarter number 3. Still 25-19. Ringwood trailing Waynoka. As Rojas from the center court logo makes her way up towards the top of the perimeter. Now heaves it inside to the left block with Hafner. Hafner ends up losing the ball. Delano on top of her as Hafner goes to the ground, and it's going to be a foul on Delano. 4:12 to play in quarter number 3, and it's the first foul on either side of the quarter. As Laura on the inbound for the left baseline, able to quickly give it over to Baker, left wing, who finds Rojas, had the ball bobbled away, and Reagan Wilson, who subbed in for Delano, able to snatch it away and give it off to Boziden in a double team, as Boziden able to break through the double team, as she did, drew a foul on Rojas. So that'll be the first foul on Rojas. Bozeiden able to get it into Wilson, right back to Bozeiden, who flip it over to Seeger. Seeger tees up a left side three. That one just clangs off, but into the arms of Reagan Wilson, who gives it down low to Beck. Back around to Seeger. Free throw line jumper. That one just a bit too short. Bozeiden saves it back in, but rifled into a jump ball. Tipped it right back in, and Laura and Reagan Wilson fell right on top of it, and it turned into another wrestling match. 3:45 to play in quarter number 3, 25-19. Waynoka still leading Ringwood. In what has been a quarter with 7 points by Temperance Bozeiden. As Beck able to come over and bat a pass intended for Laura and was able to take it away off the deflection. Shea Wilson now running with it on the left wing. Now wants to slow things down, walks past the Bozeiden screen. As Wilson tees up a left side tray, and that one just a bit too strong off the back iron, goes all the way back out to Laura, who resets to Rojas, who will operate. Crossing the timeline, walking into extended 2-3 zone that Waynoka is wanting to deploy right now. As Rojas able to lob it over to Hafner, tries a left side tray. That one will rim in and out and go into the arms of Beck, who has it poked away from behind. Beck able to, as the ball spins up to Rojas, Rojas drives in, draws a foul. Beck was just about to force another jump ball, but that one just got away from her as Laura was able to tip it out. Instead, it will be a foul. Try to see who that's on. It's going to be on Devin Seeger. That'll be her first, and it puts Rojas at the line. As Rojas takes a couple dribbles, fires away free throw number 1. That one's off the back iron. As Gracie Benson will check in place of Baker for Ringwood. 2:56 to go in the third quarter. Second free throw on the way for Rojas, and that one's in. Waynoka's still on top, 25-20. It's Ringwood able to claw a little bit more back into this game. Reagan Wilson in between the two circles, being hounded by Resendez. Able to drift towards the left wing, had the ball poked away by Laura. Laura will now slowly waltz across the timeline before spinning it off to Resendez, who will give it inside to Benson. Benson from the free throw line, kicks it back out to Laura, spinning it around to Rojas. Rojas will send it back Laura's way before the ball gets bobbled around, and Shea Wilson's able to scoop it up. Wilson in a fast break, looking for somewhere to move, and instead has to give it down low to Bozeiden. Bozeiden in a triple team, spins around, went up for a shot, couldn't get it to go. Benson with the board and hands it off to Resendez. 25-20, Waynoka still on top of Ringwood. 2:05 to go in the third quarter. As Rojas trying to navigate through the Waynoka pressure, finds Resendez right side three. That one just a bit too strong, but goes all the way back out to Laura, who clears to Rojas, the top of the perimeter. Rojas finding Benson. Benson kicks it back out. Resendez another right side tray. That one spins around and in. Third three of the night for Resendez, and it's a 2-point game once again. Waynoka still leading 25-23, 1:35 to go in quarter number 3. As Seeger rifles a pass over to Bozeiden for the right wing, goes in with the one-handed floater, can't get it to fall. Bozeiden gets her own putback, that won't go either. As Seeger tried to get a hand on it, going to the ground is Laura, and we're going to have a travel called on Laura. Possession will stay with Waynoka. Substitution is Gracie Martinelli will check in place of Seeger. As Martinelli will be the inbounder on the right baseline. 1:24 to play in the third quarter. Inbound goes to Bozeiden. Left side three on the way, and it's in. 28-23, and a much-needed three for Temperance Bozeiden. Ringwood trying to claw back in this. You could feel them getting a little bit of momentum, and that was a nice shot there to bring it back to a 5-point game. As Hafner finds Resendez. Resendez wants to answer top of the key three. That one pinballs around, back to Benson, goes up with it. Had nowhere to go and ends up throwing it away. Try to get it back out to Laura, but a bit too high for her. 58 seconds to play in the third quarter. Quick sub as Delano will come in place of Bozeiden, and that's smart there. You don't want Bozeiden to pick up another foul. She already has had 3 in the first quarter, didn't play any of the second quarter. Has done a great job not picking one up this entire third quarter. Martinelli from the left wing gives it back over to Delano. Recatches to reset with the ball, gives it back over to Martinelli, fires a long shot from the right block, couldn't get that one to fall in. Fight for the ball, and Reagan Wilson gets a little too aggressive with it, trying to strip the ball away, and that'll be her second foul. It's the 4th team foul. Check that 3rd team foul on Waynoka. 38 seconds to go in quarter number 3. 28-23, Waynoka leading Ringwood. As Resendez lobs it over to Laura in the left wing, finding Rojas in the corner, who dumps it down to Hafner. Hafner with a long two that rattles around and in. Just a little flip shot in the mid-range, and it's a three-point game again. 28-25, Ringwood trailing by 3 against the Lady Rails. Martinelli from the left side with a long two. That one will not fall down, and instead Rojas able to come up with the big board. 10 seconds to play in quarter number 3 as she lobs it over to Hafner. 5 seconds to play in the quarter. As the lob goes over to Rojas, 2 seconds to play in the quarter. Rojas to the free throw line, gives it back over to Laura, tries a 3, and it was after the buzzer anyway. So at the end of the third quarter, Waynoka with a 28-25 lead over Ringwood. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
Holder Drug, your local pharmacy. Stop in and check out some of the new available items at Holders, starting with our hanging scrolls and banners. Expecting a child soon? Holder Drug is the perfect place for your baby registry. Find more information by stopping by the store or visit us online at holderdrug.com. As always, free delivery with your medications and prescriptions, along with specials at the fountain. That's Holder Drug, located on the downtown square, right here in Alva.
Rachel's Cafe in downtown Waynoka is like its owner. Beautiful. From the front door, clear through. You'll love the look, the feel, and you'll love the taste at Rachel's Cafe. With a full menu and a daily special, Rachel's is burgers, calf fries, and much, much more. Open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 to 4 and Friday and Saturday from 11 to 7 p.m. Say hi to Rachel and her great staff in downtown Waynoka.
Welcome back to Ringwood as we get ready for quarter number 4. What has been a tight one here, homecoming night in Ringwood, and the Lady Rails with a 28-25 lead as we get ready for the final 8 minutes here with a quick pass over to Delano, tries to throw it inside, deflected away and into the arms of Rojas. As Rojas makes her way across center court. Drifting towards the right side, finding Resendez. Resendez gives it down low to Laura. Laura tries to drive inside, lost the ball, and another battle for it. And it'll be another jump ball that stays with Ringwood. 7:36 to go in the ball game, 28-25. Waynoka still with the lead as the inbound goes back out to Resendez. It was to track it back down near center court. Shea Wilson goes out in pursuit. Resendez was able to get it away to Rojas. Rojas with a quick pass down to Baker. Baker getting it back to Rojas, who tries the little up and under move, and that one bounces off the front iron. Wilson off and running with it. Stops at the court logo, the Larry Nance court we're on here in Ringwood. Gives it off to Boziden. Drives head full of steam. Can't get her shot to go. And then falling to the ground is Laura, and so that will be a foul on the Lady Rails with 7:08 to go in the ball game. That foul is going to be on Briley Beck, and that's her second. Still a 3-point lead for Waynoka. 28-25. Hafner from the left corner tries a 3, and that one goes in, and we're tied. 28-28 with 6:50 to go in the ball game. As Wilson gives it over to Boziden. Boziden quickly fires it over to Seeger on the left wing, who will give it back out to Wilson. Bobbles the ball, has to find someone to go as Resendez comes up to her, and we're going to have a timeout taken by Coach Klein. It'll be a 30-second timeout. 6:41 to go in the ball game. 28-28 between Ringwood and Waynoka. And while we have a moment, this quarter is brought to you in part by Chimney Rock Mini Storage on the south edge of Waynoka. Larry and Linda Zook supporting all things in Northwest Oklahoma that make our community the best. Call them at 580-824-1042. That's 580-824-1042. Tie game here in Ringwood. 28-28. It's about what you expected this game to be. It's one of those back and forth the entire time. Two teams trying to continue to build some momentum. The Buffalo tournament is next week. It's your final tournament before really the big one that's a few weeks away. It's hard to think that in a few weeks the playoff pairings will come out. All of that will really start to get set in motion, but we've still got a fun one to get through here and a long way to go before we can even think about playoffs. As a pass tipped away, but Wilson able to retrieve it for the Lady Rails. 6:33 to go in the ball game. As Wilson being harassed by Resendez at center court, throws a pass, snatched back up by Bozine for the left wing, drives inside into the paint with a floater that goes off the back iron. Bozine with a putback, spins around, and gets it in. 30-28, Waynoka on top of Ringwood. 6:13 to go in the ball game. Rojas over to Hafner from the left wing, gives it down to Baker, has her shot blocked away by Beck out of bounds. .606 to play in the game, and a good rejection there by Beck. As the inbound goes to Resendez, Resendez went up, and as she did, hit on the hand by Shea Wilson. Actually, they're going to get Aubrey Delano with the foul instead. Or actually, no, they are going to get Wilson. So that'll be the first foul on Shea Wilson. I was going to say, it would not make sense for Aubrey Delano to have that foul. She's not out on the floor right now. The first free throw for Resendez, up and off to the right. The scoreboard gets it corrected. Both Wilsons on the floor right now. Second free throw for Resendez is in. 1 point game, Waynoka on top, 30-29 with 6 minutes to go in regulation. As Shea Wilson getting across center court, being harassed by Resendez. Wilson rifles it over to Beck for a long jumper from the right side. Can't get that one to fall. Fight for the ball ensues, and coming away with it, it's going to be a jump ball. Possession stays with Waynoka. It'll be Seeger on the inbound from the right baseline. Seeger looking for somewhere to go, gets it out to Bozine in the right corner, fires away with a three, and that one goes in. Temperance Bozine again has all the points in the second half so far for Waynoka. 33-29, Lady Rails able to move the lead back up to 4 with 5:30 to go in the ball game, and the ball tipped away by Shea Wilson, but not able to get the steal on it as Laura able to track it back down and lob it over to Rojas underneath the basket from the ref block and gets bumped by Seeger. And that'll be the second foul on Seeger, and it's the third team foul on Waynoka. Ringwood with no team foul so far, 5:21 to go in the ball game. First free throw on the way for Rojas is up and off the back iron. Still a 4-point game. As Rojas takes a couple dribbles, looks at the rim, fires away, and sinks the second one. Splits the pair, and it's a 3-point game. Waynoka ahead. 33-30, 5:15 to go in the game. As Bozine in between the two circles, goes around a back screen, flips it back over to Beck at the top of the perimeter, gets it down low to Reagan Wilson. Through a double team, Wilson goes up strong, draws the foul. As the foul will go on Rojas, that'll be her second. It's Reagan Wilson, takes a couple dribbles, first free throw on the way, and that one just a bit too strong. Reagan Wilson trying to get her first point of the evening. Second free throw on the way, and that one off the back iron as well. Ball fought for and won for by Laura, and then we have a foul the other way on Reagan Wilson, it looks like, and so that'll be her third. That's the fourth team foul on Waynoka. You do not want another one because then Ringwood's in the bonus for the next 4:58. Rojas from the top of the perimeter. Scanning, flinging it over to Hafner, right wing. Dump it inside to Baker. Baker with a long two that spins around. Reagan Wilson skies for the ball, and another fight ensues. Are they going to call a jump ball, or is it going to be a foul? No, it's going to be a jump ball. So possession stays with Ringwood. Quick sub as Martinelli will check in place of Reagan Wilson. 4:46 to play in quarter number 4. 33-30 lead for Waynoka. as Baker finds Resendez on the left wing. Thought about a three, spins it to Hafner. Hafner right side triple. That one a bit too strong off the back iron. Bozaiden's got it. Boziden in a 1-on-2. Going all the way to the rack. Had the ball bobbled away. Tipped out of bounds by the Red Devils. It'll stay with Waynoka. That was good defense there by Ringwood, knowing that Bozaiden was in front of her, just trying to make a play on the ball, and they made a good play on it. As Seeger on the inbound throws a pass, tipped but right to Wilson, who sends it over to Martinelli. Thought about a three from the left side. Instead gives it over to Beck. Beck from the long two right side. That one just a bit too strong and out of bounds. Back to Ringwood. 4:24 to go in the ball game. 33-30. Waynoka still leads. Rojas across the timeline with a bounce pass to Laura. Laura looking for somewhere to go. Wilson continues to harass her. Rojas eventually able to pick the ball up, drives inside, now back out towards the top of the perimeter. Goes back inside the arc, flips it over to Resendez. Thought about a three, free throw line. Sends it over to Baker, tries a long shot. That one will rattle around, going straight back up is Rojas with the putback. And a 1-point game yet again. 33-32, Waynoka on top of Ringwood as Bozine gives it over Shea Wilson, right corner three. That was just a bit too strong. Martinelli under the basket, goes up, her shot won't fall, and instead it's Laura snatching it away and dishing it out to Hafner, who quickly resets to Resendez. 3:33 to go in the ball game. 33-32, Waynoka on top of Ringwood. Laura from the right wing, thought about passing him, but instead she traveled. So Waynoka able to get the ball back. And a much-needed stop for the Lady Rails. It's Boziden slowing things down, waiting for a screen for Beck. Goes towards the right side, tries a three and got it in again. Temperance Boziden with another three, and a timeout going to be taken by Ringwood. 3:13 to go in the ball game. 36-32, Waynoka on top of Ringwood. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
Warm up with a class at Northwest Technology Center this month. Choose one of our evening classes, including computer fundamentals, cooking, health-related courses, business development, and much more. Northwest Technology Center also offers training for your business at your convenience. Contact us today for more information at 580-327-0344 in Alva or 580-227-3708 in Fairview. Northwest Technology Center is preparing students for success in education, careers, and life.
When your business is agriculture, you want a bank behind you that doesn't cut and run at the first sign that there will be some tough times ahead. There are good years and there are always bad years. At Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, we're here for them all. Agriculture, it's the backbone of our local community. We believe in it. We invest in it. We're here for the long haul. If you're in agriculture, it's time to let Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma make your best even better. Contact a loan officer today. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the area's leading lender in agriculture.
Back in Ringwood. Lady Rails with a 36-32 lead here on homecoming night for the Red Devils. Waynoka trying to get another win on the season and stop this winning streak for Ringwood. As Baker inside from the free throw line, turns, fires, Beck able to secure the board, fight for the ball, and a foul. See who it's going to be on. It looks like it will be on Ringwood. And that'll be the second foul on Anna Baker. It's the second team foul on Ringwood. 3 minutes to go in the ball game. 36-32, Waynoka with the lead and the ball. As Boziden in between the two circles, being guarded tightly by Resendez. Picks up her dribble, spins back around, gets bumped by Resendez, and that'll be the second on her and the third team foul. 2:49 to go in regulation. Temperance Boziden with all the points in this second half for Waynoka. Talked about how she needed to step up and stay out of foul trouble. She's done both of those things. As Boziden continuing to dribble with the ball, drifting towards the left wing. Finally gets there, stops, goes into a double team, kicks out the back, finding Seeger top of the key three. That one rattles in. as Seeger able to knock down her first triple of the night, and it's a 7-point lead for Waynoka. Largest lead of the night for the Lady Rails, 39-32. Rojas drives inside and draws a foul. It'll be the 5th team foul on Waynoka. It's the 3rd foul on Seeger. 2:04 to go in the ball game. As Rojas back to the line. Taking a couple dribbles, firing away free throw number 1, and that one rattles in. Still a 6-point lead for Waynoka. 2:04 to go in the ball game. Second free throw on the way, and that one in as well, and Rojas able to get the pair. Back to a 5-point game. Ringwood wanting to bring a bit of pressure now. As Bozaiden, facing a triple team, gives it over to Seeger. Seeger thought about lobbing it inside the Beck, and as she did, she took an extra step, and it's a travel. So Ringwood able to get a stop and get the ball back as Resendez taking over as the point guard momentarily. Resendez giving it over to Rojas. Rojas attacking in from the left side, tried to lay it up, couldn't get it. Resendez put back just a bit too strong. Beck gets the board, flips it over to Wilson. Shea Wilson off and running, now slows things down near the Larry Nance court word mark with 1:35 to go in the ball game. Lobbing it back over to Martinelli. Martinelli drives inside of the right block, goes up strong, draws a foul. The foul is going to be on Hafner. That's her 4th. The 4th foul is a team for Ringwood as well, and it's a good job by Martinelli sensing the opportunity. Couple of dribbles, first free throw on the way, splashes in for Martinelli. Martinelli hit the big shot to give Waynoka the lead right before halftime. Hit the top of the key 3 to make it 18-17. And is not able to get the second free throw. That one just a bit too strong off the back iron. Resendez able to reach for it. 40-34 as Resendez throws a pass. Intercepted by Wilson. Wilson streaking down the court. Head full of steam, gets inside, draws another whistle. This will be a trip to the free throw line for Shea Wilson. The foul is on Hafner, and that is her 5th. She'll finish the game with 8 points. The referees discussing something momentarily. It's Baker, or check that, Perryman will sub in for the Red Devils. 1:21 to go in the ball game. 40-34. Waynoka with the lead. First free throw for Wilson, up and in. Shea Wilson with 10 points on the evening now. 7-point lead, largest of the night for the Lady Rails. Second free throw on the way, and that one rattles off. As Laura able to secure the board, being harassed by Beck, and Waynoka doing a good job bringing pressure here over to Baker, quickly finding Resendez. Resendez near the top of the perimeter, gives it back over to Laura, hoists up a right side 3, banks it in. And a timeout going to be taken by Coach Hatfield with 1:04 to go in the ball game. 41-37. Waynoka on top of Ringwood. And while we have a moment, we do want to remind you there's a lot going on. Not only, of course, are we going to have the game going on after this on the boys' side, but the annual Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction is coming up. That's Monday evening at 6:30 at the Waynoka School. Again, that's the 4-H and FFA trophy auction coming up Monday evening, 6:30 at the Waynoka School. So 1:04 to play in regulation. Each team with 5 fouls apiece. Both are in the bonus. 41-37, Waynoka on top of Ringwood. So the Red Devils once again going to apply some pressure. As Wilson able to get it into Bozaiden. Bozaiden able to race across momentarily, finds Resendez, and now able to run past her before giving it over to Seeger. Seeger quickly finding it back in the right corner before giving it inside to Bozaiden. Bozaiden kicks it back out to
Becker throws a pass, tipped it over to Seeger. Beck still on the right side, dumps it down to Bozeiden. 43 seconds to go in the game. Bozeiden resets out back towards center court, going to make Ringwood foul. Bozeiden now drives inside with a layup, attacking in, draws the foul. 35 seconds to go in the ball game, and a crafty move there by Bozeiden to attack Riley Perryman, who came into the game 30 seconds earlier. That'll put Temperance Bozeiden at the line, who's already at 20 points tonight. It's a quick sub as Benson will check in for Perryman. As Bozeiden takes a couple dribbles, fires away, first free throw off the back iron. Still a 4-point game, 41-37. Waynoka on top of Ringwood. 35 seconds to go in the game. Second free throw on the way. That one in for Bozeiden. 21-point effort for Temperance Bozeiden. 42-37. Waynoka up by 5. Rojas on the left wing looking to operate. Back towards Resendez. Kicking over to Laura. Laura from the right wing drives inside with a long bounce pass back out to Rojas. Left side 3. That one just a bit short. Tracked down by Bozeiden. Bozeiden off and running across center court, able to clear it back out towards Seeger, who can't get a hold of the ball. Now finally does, fight for it, and it's going to be a foul. Let's see who the foul is on. It looks like it's going to be on Seeger. And it is going to be on Seeger. That's her 4th. They got her with a push. So it'll put Laura at the line with 12 seconds to go. Shooting the 1-and-1. Check that, it was a 2-shot foul, never mind. First free throw up and no good. .12 seconds to go, still a 5-point lead for Waynoka. Laura takes a couple dribbles, fires away, second free throw, that one off as well. Rojas tipped it around. Resendez gets it back, goes up strong, draws another foul. This one on Beck. And that'll be the 3rd foul on Briley Beck. 9 seconds to go in the game, and now we'll put Resendez at the line. As Resendez takes a couple dribbles, fires away, free throw number 1, and that one rattles in. Down to a 4-point game. Another free throw for Resendez as this one's up and pure. One possession game again, 42-39 as Bozeiden gets the inbound, immediately fouled by Rojas. That'll be her 3rd. 6.5 seconds to go in this one as Temperance Bozeiden with an opportunity to close the game out, but free throws have not been her friend tonight. First free throw on the way for Bozeiden, and that one is in. Needed that one. 43-39 with 6.5 seconds to play in the game. Second free throw on the way for Bozeiden. That one's pure as well. Needed them both, got them both. As the inbound goes to Laura, 4 seconds left. Laura gives it over to Rojas, right side, throws it inside, stolen away by Bozeiden, and that will be your ball game. As Waynoka able to get a 44-39 win on the road over Ringwood. So Waynoka moving to 6-8 on the season. Ringwood falling to 3-13. Folks, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll recap this one. You're watching and listening to Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
What do you look for in a good ag lender? Local decision making? Quick responses on questions? Personalized business packages with a focus on your financial goals? Guidance with the latest technology? On-site visits with respect for your time and your schedule? Well, if that sounds good to you, you should give us a call. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the leader in ag lending.
Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, an equal housing lender, online at farmcreditloans.com.
Clean Harbors, hazardous waste disposal and recycling services provide the widest range of recycling, treatment, and disposal options for all your hazardous waste streams. Unmatched in North America, our infrastructure of hazardous waste management facilities services all of the U.S. and Canada, northern Mexico, and Puerto Rico. We handle both drum and bulk hazardous waste in liquid, solid, semi-solid, sludge, and gas forms. One call handles all your hazardous waste disposal needs. Located in Waynoka, where we proudly support our railroaders.
America's Oasis, a whole new world of off-road delight. America's Oasis, joining the north edge of the Little Sahara State Park just south of Waynoka, is open for business, and they invite you and your family to come stay and play. To explore all the possibilities, go to their website, americasoasis.com, and see the many ways you can come to Northwest Oklahoma and play in the sand. America's Oasis, an amazing concept. You have to experience it to believe it. Come visit America's Oasis, just south of Waynoka, the little city by the sand.
We are very fortunate to live, to work, and to be able to play in this part of the world. We're also thankful for all of our blessings, our friends, and our neighbors in and around the Waynoka area. One of our big blessings is having our own animal doctor. That's Dr. Michaela Zook. Dr. Michaela Zook is now located in downtown Waynoka and can be reached at any time by telephone, 580-554-0226. Dr. Michaela Zook. One more blessing. And our hometown veterinarian.
Back in Ringwood as the Lady Rails able to get a big win, 44-39 over the Lady Red Devils to move to 6-8 on the season. And looking at the scoring totals for this one, starting with Waynoka, Temperance Poseidon leading the way, had 2 points in the first half, was in foul trouble. No fouls in the second half, and exploded to finish the game with 23 points. Shea Wilson did a lot of the heavy lifting in the first half, had 9 in the first half, only needed 1 point in the second half, but it was an important free throw nonetheless to finish with 10. And then 5 points from Devin Seeger, 4 points from Gracie Martinelli, and 2 points from Briley Beck. And they needed every single one of them to get a win here tonight. Looking at scoring on the Ringwood side, it was Diar Resendez finishing with 16, Anna Rojas putting in 10, Addison Hafner finishing with 8, and Euridia Laura putting in 5. A back-and-forth game, as expected, between these two. Waynoka able to continue to have another tight game, good experience for them. Anytime you get a win, always a great thing, but when you have these competitive games and continue to try to learn how to get through these tough situations, Ringwood kept clawing back, kept making it a game, and Waynoka kept finding ways to extend the lead, to keep pushing and keep pushing. And that's what you want to do. Getting good in-game situations like this, absolutely a big plus, because you'll have tournaments coming up again soon. Playoffs are under a month away. It's hard to think all of that is starting to come up soon, but that is where we are starting to get to. So, folks, we're going to take another quick break. And when we come back, we'll get back into the Waynoka Railroader pregame show brought to you by Mock Resources. So we'll take that break and be right back and get ready to flip things over to the boys' side here on KALV.
Holder Drug, your local pharmacy. Stop in and check out some of the new available items at Holder's, starting with our hanging scrolls and banners. Expecting a child soon? Holder Drug is the perfect place for your baby registry. Find more information by stopping by the store or visit us online at holderdrug.com. As always, free delivery with your medications and prescriptions, along with specials at the fountain. That's Holder Drug, located on the downtown square, right here in Alva.
Rachel's Cafe in downtown Waynoka is like its owner. Beautiful. From the front door, clear through. You'll love the look, the feel, and you'll love the taste at Rachel's Cafe. With a full menu and a daily special, Rachel's is burgers, calf fries, and much, much more. Open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 to 4 and Friday and Saturday from 11 to 7 p.m. Say hi to Rachel and her great staff in downtown Waynoka.
Warm up with a class at Northwest Technology Center this month. Choose one of our evening classes, including computer fundamentals, cooking, health-related courses, business development, and much more. Northwest Technology Center also offers training for your business at your convenience. Contact us today for more information at 580-327-0344 in Alva or 580-227-3708 in Fairview. Northwest Technology Center is preparing students for success in education, careers, and life.
When your business is agriculture, you want a bank behind you that doesn't cut and run at the first sign that there will be some tough times ahead. There are good years and there are always bad years. At Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, we're here for them all. Agriculture, it's the backbone of our local community. We believe in it. We invest in it. We're here for the long haul. If you're in agriculture, it's time to let Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma make your best even better. Contact a loan officer today. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the area's leading lender in agriculture.
Welcome back to Ringwood. As we are here, the Waynoka Railroader pregame show brought to you by Mock Resources. Mock Resources with offices not only in Waynoka, but also around the world. But looking at men's basketball now, we've made our way over. Waynoka coming into this game, coached by Jared Strait, with a record of 3-10. Waynoka at the Burlington tournament had some tough battles. Pioneer Pleasantville unfortunately fell to them 54-38. Got a win over Allen Cleo 80-61 before ultimately falling to Sharon Mutual on Saturday 51-46. And then playing on Tuesday in O'Keene, a rough game there where, again, more of a game to show about the talent of O'Keene than anything else when they were able to come out and make a whole lot of shots in a little amount of time. O'Keene was able to get that one 70-22. But Ringwood finding themselves in a similar situation, coached by Darian Dickinson, a record of 3-12. Ringwood also was at that O'Keene tournament, and they started off with a brutal start. They had to play the number 13 team in Class A, so you're already playing a class above you, and then you're playing a ranked opponent, and they fell to Waukomis 93-43. Again, kind of like Waynoka with O'Keene, more about how good Waukomis is than anything else. Battled Pond Creek Hunter, lost to them 51-33, was able to get a win over Gary in overtime, 63-60, a hard-fought game there for Ringwood. And similar to their girls' side, coming on a win streak, beating Allen Cleo on Tuesday, 73-33. So kind of a similar situation going on as with the girls' side for Ringwood, where you've won 2 games in a row. You're starting to find maybe a little bit of confidence or at least a little bit of momentum. Starting to continue to try to put things together, and you want to see what they're going to be able to come up with. And so we're going to have to see what happens today. If you're Waynoka trying to continue to get back on track here, someone is going to walk away with win number 4 on the season today. Kind of the same thing as I mentioned on the girls' side. The Buffalo tournament's coming up. That's next week. You'll have Burlington on Tuesday. There's going to be some opportunities for some good games in here to against some competition you feel pretty good about playing against, some battles back and forth here. You expect these to be tightly contested games. How are you going to answer in them? You can continue to build up a little confidence, continue to get some momentum going, see what you can do in that Buffalo tournament. It's the last tournament setting you get until you are in the playoffs, which, again, are under a month away. It's hard to think, but they are under a month away. As it looks like we are just about ready to get going here. About time to have the starting lineups for both sides. It'll be Waynoka in the all maroon jerseys and maroon shorts. Ringwood in the white jerseys and white shorts as well. So both sides just about ready to go. Looks like the clock is stopped, getting ready to reset. As we are at a standstill for a moment, it looks like. Everyone's huddled up, everyone's ready to go. We're waiting on something. I don't know what that something is, but while we have a moment, do want to let you know the annual Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction coming up Monday evening at 6:30 at Waynoka School. Always good to see, 4-H and FFA always big time in Waynoka as well. And then the Share Medical Center blood drive will be Tuesday, January 27th. Bloodmobile will be at Share Medical Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information about that, see Coco Burton. And there we go, as we are underway with the starting lineups.
23, George. And 24, Smith Dunn.
As we are getting the starting lineups here for Waynoka, it'll be Leiden Homertzheim, number 13, Weston Longoria, number 14, Cooper Truesdale. We have number 24, Titan Smith Dunn, and number 23, Roland George. And for Ringwood, it will be number 1, Lear, number 10, Baker, number 12, Elias, number 20, Anderson, and number 21, Balderas. As we are just about ready to go finally here in Ringwood. We want to let you know this first quarter brought to you by Rick George and Associates. When it's time for taxes, don't get second-class help for the most important business decision in your world. Get with the best. Rick and Matt at Rick George and Associates in downtown Waynoka. As we are underway, tip controlled by the Red Devils. With a quick pass over to Leary. Leary on the right wing, thought about a three, gets it underneath to Anderson, who goes up and under and is able to lay it in to get the scoring started in the ball game. 2-0 Ringwood on top as Homertzheim trying to fly down the court and unfortunately loses the ball out of bounds back to Ringwood. 7:38 to go in the opening quarters. Waynoka showing some pressure as Leary towards the right wing, drives inside the block, throws a pass, tipped away, fight for the ball, pulled away by Longoria. As Longoria streaking down the court, gets all the way coast to coast, flips up a shot just a bit too strong, but Smith Dunn able to track it down in the left wing. Titan Smith Dunn looking for somewhere to go, able to get it off to Georgia, resets to Homertzheim, finding Smith Dunn again, thought about a three, and instead passed it away, and as he did, he traveled with it. So he had the stutter step just a little bit too much is what the ref was telling him. 7:14 to go in the opening quarter. Ringwood with a 2-0 lead over Waynoka early on as Anderson able to get it away to Leary, who will reset in between the two circles, looking for somewhere to go, directing traffic, finding Elias. Elias quickly finds Leary, back on over for a left side three, and he's able to drain that one in. Just like that, Ringwood on top of Waynoka early 5-0. As Longoria pulls up a tray from the right side, that one just a bit too strong. George tips it out of bounds, and as he does, I think he draws a foul, and he does. Foul's going to be on Elias. That's his first. So Longoria on the inbound on the left baseline as Waynoka going from right to left across your radio dial. As Homertzheim throws up a long shot, just a bit too short, and the long out to Baker, who's able to lay it in coast to coast. 7-0 Ringwood on top of Waynoka early with a pass that's intercepted by Anderson. Anderson, head full of steam, lays it up and in. And it's 9-0 Ringwood on top of Waynoka early, and a timeout going to be taken by Coach Strait. 6:26 to go in the opening quarter. Just a 30-second timeout. 9-0 Ringwood on top of Waynoka. While we have a moment, we do want to remind you again about the annual Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction coming up Monday evening at 6:30 at the Waynoka School. Always a busy time of year. Sports getting back going. School just started back up a few weeks ago, and now 4-H and FFA always doing their thing as well. And then the Share Medical Center blood drive, Tuesday, January 27th. Bloodmobile will be at Share Medical Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information about that, see Coco Burton. It's back to action now here on homecoming night in Ringwood. Red Devils with a 9-0 lead over the rails early as Longoria's pass tipped away and then picked off by Anderson, who's able to get it down to Leary. Leary drives around, loses the ball, but saved by Baker in the right corner before kicking it back out over to Elias, who tries a three from the right side, got it in. And it's a 12-0 lead for Ringwood as Homertime able to split through the double team, moves around a defender, and he's able to lay it in. Lyden Homertime with the nice lefty layup. As Homertime able to tip a pass on the inbound, trying to save it in bounds, almost did, but had his foot on the line. Had his foot on the sideline, or otherwise that would have been back-to-back impressive plays for Homertime. 5:50 to go in the opening quarter and a 12-2 lead for Ringwood over Waynoka as Leary from the right wing flings it over to Balderas. He wants to try a long two just inside the arc. Can't get it to fall, but Elias tracks it back down, resets it over to Leary in between the two circles. Now facing some pressure from Smith Dunn. We're getting over to Elias inside on the left elbow, kicking it back out for a three from Baker, and he knocks that one down. Ringwood, a team that is not shy about shooting threes, and when they're on a long pass down to Longoria, trapped in the right corner, able to fling it back out over to Truesdale, who resets to Homertime. They give it back off to Longoria, dump pass down to Truesdale, tacks from the right block, able to spin it around, just could not get it to go, but tipped out of bounds as two different Red Devils fought for the same ball, and it'll stay with Waynoka. 5:10 to go in the opening quarter and a 15-2 lead for Ringwood. The inbound from Longoria goes to Homertime, drives inside from the left elbow, tries to pass, tipped around. George able to track it back down, flings it over to Homertime, finding Longoria, right corner triple, and that one not able to go, but drew a foul. As Longoria got bumped by Anderson. So that'll be the first foul on Anderson. It's the second team foul on Ringwood, and it'll put Weston Longoria on the line. With 5:01 to go in the opening frame. Longoria takes a couple dribbles. First free throw on the way, and that one rolls out. Longoria looking at the rim. A few more dribbles. Takes a deep breath. Second free throw on the way, and that one does the same thing. Rims out. Third free throw on the way for Longoria, trying to get on the board here. 5:01 to play in the opening quarter. Third free throw on the way, and that one does the exact same thing. Rims around. George goes to the ground trying to draw a foul and ends up going out of bounds off of him. So quick sub as number 42 Thompson checks into the game for the Red Devils. As the inbound goes to Baker, right back to Balderas, who's able to swing it over to Leary, and as he does, a quick travel by Leary. So right back to Waynoka with 4:51 to play in the opening quarter. 15-2, Ringwood ahead. It's Homertime looking to set up the offense, feeds it to Longoria in the right corner, gets it down low to Truesdale as he pumps inside, and we're going to have a quick foul on Anderson, and that'll be his second. It's a third team foul on Ringwood. 4:45 to go in quarter number one. Waynoka still with the ball, down 15-2. As Longoria able to give it over to Smith Dunn. Tight Smith Dunn, left corner three. That one just a bit too long and into the arms of Thompson, who's able to get it over to Baker, who has to save it inbounds, navigate through a wave of Waynoka pressure, and is able to spin it away to Leary, who will slow things down before getting it right back to Baker, who wants to speed things back up with a quick pass over to Balderas, finding Leary on the right wing, who's ended over to Anderson. Anderson dumps down from the right block with a shot up in the air, tipped away. Are they going to call a foul? It looks like they will. A three-shot foul on Homertime. So that'll be the first foul on Lyden Homertime. And Balderas at the line. Balderas takes a couple of dribbles, fires away his first free throw, and that one clangs off the back iron back to him. 4:24 to go in the opening quarter. Still a 15-2 ball game. Red Devils ahead. Second free throw on the way for Balderas, and that one rattles around and in for his first point of the day. Balderas takes a couple of dribbles, fires away free throw number three, and that one spins in and out. Truesdale able to sky for the ball, had it poked away. Truesdale tries to fall back on top of it, but Leary gets it, able to send it right back to Anderson, who tips it back out to Leary. Fight for the ball ensues, and we've got a whistle and a timeout taken by Ringwood. So 4:16 to go in the opening quarter. 16-2 lead for Ringwood over Waynoka. We've got a moment. This portion of tonight's game is brought to you by the Long Gas Company of Alva. When it's propane you need, Long delivers to you, or you can pick it up on East Flynn in Alva. Call them at 580-327-1436. That's 580-327-1436. As Ringwood still with the ball. Baldares getting it inside Anderson. Anderson goes up and immediately catches, fires, and scores to make it 18-2. Ringwood on top as Homer Time goes right back to the rack. Round and in. Homer Time once again able to answer back and make it 18-4. Waynoka down by 14 halfway through the opening quarter. As Baker able to hand it off to Baldares, who quickly finds Leary in between the two circles near the Red Devils logo at center court. Now Baldares takes a spot before sending it back to Leary on the right wing. Kick out Baldares, top of the key three. That one rattles around, couldn't get it to go down. Thompson tried to save the ball, but it bounces off him and out of bounds. And that's what Waynoka's going to have to be able to do to try to climb out of this hole, is just getting stops and getting scores as Homer Time breaks through the pressure, drives inside, bumps off a defender, and is able to draw the contact and the foul off of Thompson. So that'll be the first foul on Thompson. It is the fourth team foul on Ringwood. It's Homer Time back at the line. First free throw on the way. That one will spin in. Homer Time with all 5 points so far for Waynoka. As Homer Time takes a couple of dribbles, fires away free throw number 2. That one off the back iron, and Baker able to reach for it. 18-5, Ringwood leading the rails. 3:27 to go in quarter number 1. Baldares directing traffic from the extended right side before moving it over to Elias, who quickly finds Leary, dumping it down to Anderson, who has the ball poked away off of Anderson. He lost it. Back to Waynoka. It'll be Truesdale on the inbound from the right baseline, able to feed it inside to Homer Time with a lob of a pass over the head of Smith Dunn. Out of bounds, right back to Ringwood. It'll be Baldares on the inbound. Right by the Ringwood bench. Check it into Leary, back to Baldares, facing the Waynoka extended 2-2-1 they're wanting to bring right now as Anderson slips around Truesdale and is able to score. It's a nice move there by Anderson as Homer Time, head full of steam, drives inside towards the right block. Flipper again, that time it will not go. Off to Elias, who clears it away to Baker. Baker going coast to coast, can't get his layup to go. Anderson with the putback, able to follow it up and in. 10 points already for Anderson with a 22-5 lead Ringwood has on Waynoka. Smith Dunn in the left corner, thought about a three, gives it back to Longoria, resets over to Homer Time. He hoists a deep three, and that one will make its way out of bounds and back to Ringwood. 2:38 to go in the opening quarter. 22-5, the score favoring the Red Devils on their homecoming night. As Baldares rifles a pass over to Anderson at center court, fires it away to Baker. Baker has it tipped away, but a foul called first on Homer Time. So that'll be his second. .230 to go in quarter number 1. Ringwood still with the ball with a fling inside to Anderson, and Anderson able to muscle his way through once again. He's up to 12 points. He has half of Ringwood's points. As Waynoka trying to answer with an immediate three and not able to that time. Quick fire away, and Baker able to secure the board and get it off to Elias, who finds Leary. Leary sending it around to Baker, going back to Elias, finding Anderson again on the short corner right side. We're giving it off to Baldares. Quickly finding Elias, who had the ball poked away from him. Out of bounds, it will stay with Ringwood. Balderas on the inbound, gets it underneath to a cutting Leary, and Leary just able to be in the right spot, right time, lays it in to make it 26-5. Ringwood on top of Waynoka as Longoria drives inside, has the ball poked underneath him. Leary able to get it away to Baker, who's all alone and able to lay it up and in. 28-5, Ringwood on top of Waynoka, 1:35 to go in the opening quarter. As Smith Dunn gives it down to George from the left block, kicks it back out to Longoria, flinging it over towards the right side for a three on the way, and that one just a bit too strong. Fighting for it again and winning is Elias. He's able to clear it away to Balderas. 1:15 to play in the opening quarter. As Leary able to give it away to Baker. Baker finding Elias. Elias hoists a three from the left side. That one clangs around as Smith Dunn able to grab the board and give it back over to Truesdale, quickly finding Longoria. As Longoria throwing it down towards the right side. Thought about a three, and instead it's going to be a turnover for Waynoka. 58 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Well, the quick substitution as it looks like Brock will check in for Ringwood, number 33, in for the first time tonight. 28-5, Ringwood on top of Waynoka. It's a quick fire to Anderson. Anderson found himself over the free throw line, over to Balderas for a left side triple. That one won't go. Put back by Elias, just a bit too strong. And Truesdale able to secure the board, quickly flinging it over to Longoria. Longoria driving inside, head full of steam. Layup will not creep over the front of the iron. Instead, it's Anderson with it going the other way, quickly off to Leary. Finding Elias once again, driving right baseline, maneuvering around. Truesdale able to lay it up and in. 30-5, Ringwood on top of Waynoka. As Longoria has the ball tipped away. Truesdale tries to get a hand on it, does try to secure it. Leary pokes it away. It was tipped away, but we are going to have a backcourt violation as Truesdale had the ball. Leary was lurking around, and as he was, Truesdale inadvertently walked back over the timeline. 15 seconds to go in the opening quarter. As Balderas is able to get it off to Leary before quickly giving it over to Balderas for a left side triple, and that one splashes in. First bucket of the night for Balderas, and that'll make it 33-5 at the end of the opening quarter. Ringwood on top by 28 at the end of one. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
Alva State Bank and Trust Company, older than Oklahoma, big enough to serve you and small enough to know you.
We love to give back to our customers. Did you know Alva State Bank offers a great rewards checking account program? That's right. You can earn cash back or high interest with our Kasasa accounts. We will even refund you up to $25 in ATM fees.
How do I qualify?
It's simple. Just swipe your debit card 12 times, sign up for online statements, and have one ACH credit or debit post to your account.
Can I do it online?
Yes. Just visit our website at www.alvastatebank.com to see if our Kasasa Rewards program is right for you. We make banking easy. Whether you're at home, the office, or in your car, our online or mobile banking options help you juggle busy schedules and financial needs.
We plant roots where others have branches.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back in Ringwood as the Red Devils with a 33-5 lead over the Rails. A quick fire out of late. The Rails trying to answer back, but not able to that time as Anderson able to secure the board. As Ringwood all over Waynoka in the first quarter, and unfortunately for the Rails, this is a story they've already experienced once before this week. Now they're in the same situation, having to battle back out of his ball. There's hoists a three from the top of the perimeter, not able to get it to go as the Rails track it back down. As Longoria makes his way across the timeline. Longoria flipping it over to Truesdale, trying to save it in bounds as Longoria able to get it back. Quickly giving it over to Truesdale, kicking back out. Thought about a corner three, he was number 3, but instead giving it over to number 13 as Longoria hoists a three and able to knock it down. First bucket of the night for Weston Longoria. As Leary able to send it over to Elias, getting it back to Anderson at the free throw line. Anderson drives in and able to lay it up once again. As Ringwood able to extend the lead 35-8. The Rails unfortunately not able to hang on to the ball in the next possession. Elias off and running with it once again. Gets back towards the right block, sends it back over to Balderas. Had the shot knocked out of bounds. 6:42 to go in the first half, 35-8. Ringwood on top of Waynoka. As the inbound gets stolen away. Number 3 trying to find a name for him real quick, able to go coast to coast, and he'll take a trip to the line. Get a name on him, I'm sure, at some point. For a moment, the mystery number 3 at the line. First free throw on the way, and that one off the back iron. Second free throw on the way, and this one up and in. So that makes it a 35-9 ball game. Ringwood on top of Waynoka. As Leary nearly losing the ball out of bounds, able to give it back to Anderson. Quickly lobbing it with the pass, deflected by Elias, but stolen away by Longoria. As Longoria driving inside, gets all the way to the right block, tries to attack with a layup that just creeps out. And is instead Leary running away with it, going back inside towards the left block, throws up a wild-looking shot, can't get it to go. Anderson puts it back in, jumped over a rail, and was able to lay it back in. 6:08 to go in the first half, and a timeout going to be taken by Ringwood. Just a 30-second timeout, 37-9, Red Devils leading the Rails. While we have a moment, this quarter is brought to you by Viv's Flowers and Things in downtown Waynoka. Flowers for just about any occasion. And you want to start thinking about it. Valentine's Day is around the corner. It's going to get closer every single day. It's just going to continue to you start thinking about it, and it's going to be time once again. So give Viv a call at 580-824-0023. That's 580-824-0023 for Viv's Flowers and Things in downtown Waynoka. As Truesdale able to inbound it into Longoria, who has a pass knocked out of bounds, but first we're going to have a foul on Ringwood. The foul is going to be on Elias. That's his third. A quick substitution as Thompson subs into the game for the Red Devils. As Longoria looking for somewhere to go, gives it over to Smith Dunn. He fires up a 3 from the right side, tried to bank it in, couldn't get that one to fall. Instead, Thompson able to collect the board and spin it away to Leary. Slow things down before pitching it over to Balderas. Back to Baker in between the two corners, finding Leary for a left side triple, and he nails it. 40-9 Ringwood on top of Waynoka as Longoria throws a pass knocked out of bounds by Anderson, who then walks about 3 rows into the stands, just momentum keeping him going. 5:39 to go in the first half. Waynoka trying to rally back into this thing, down by 31. As Longoria able to flip it in the right corner where it's caught by number 3, lost the ball momentarily, tried to pitch it out to Truesdale. Instead, it's quick passing back over to Baker, who will lay it up and cannot get a shot to go. Anderson able to track it down, leaps, falls down, and it'll be a travel. So a good hustle effort again by Anderson, who has just been all around the glass tonight so far for Ringwood. It's number 3 in the corner with a quick pass to Roland George. George down. Backside gives it over to Smith Dunn, and he fires a 3 from the left wing. Not able to get that one to go. He's able to track his own rebound back down, though, however. Now trapped in a double team, able to give it away to Longoria. Flicks it over to George left side. Reset Smith Dunn. Longoria top of the perimeter. When they get back to work is Longoria. Will give it over to number 3. He tries a 3, and that one will just rim in and out. Fight for the ball ensues as both players fall into the floor, one for each side, between Thompson and Longoria. So the foul is going to be on Longoria. That'll be his first. As Homer Zime will check back into the game. Anderson catching the ball at center court for the Red Devils, makes his way towards the free throw line, gives it off to Thompson with a floater from the left block that's tipped back out to Baker, right side triple. That one nearly wedges in there, but Smith Dunn able to collect the board and give it off to Longoria. Longoria slowing things down, has the pass tipped out of bounds by Leary. Leary and Baker both patrolling in the area. Longoria on the inbound, able to get it over to Smith Dunn, who finds Longoria before dumping it down to Truesdale. Truesdale in the paint, throws up a shot, tried to bank it in, couldn't get his bank to fall, and instead it's Balderas coming up with the board. So he'll make his way over towards center court, finding Leary, who will search it over to Anderson for a mid-range jumper, and that one's smooth and in. 18 points now on the night for Anderson. 42-9, Ringwood on top of Waynoka. 4 minutes to go in the first half. As Longoria from the right wing gives it over to Smith Dunn. Looking for somewhere to go, throws a pass intercepted away by Anderson, and Anderson finds himself all alone on the other side of the court, coast to coast, able to lay it in. Now a 20-point effort for Anderson here with 3:47 to go, still in the first half. 44-9, Ringwood on top. And Smith Dunn able to get it back to Longoria, drives inside through a double team, able to draw a foul. Foul is going to be on Leary. That'll be his first. Longoria taking a deep breath, a couple dribbles, firing away free throw number one, and that one is off and out. 3:39 to go in the first half. A 44-9 lead for Ringwood. Second free throw on the way for Longoria, and that one's up, and that one hits off the back iron and is controlled by Baker. As Valder is able to hand it off to Leary, standing at the Red Devils logo at center court before giving it back to Balderas, finding Leary again on the right wing, dumping it inside Anderson, attacking for the right block, banking it in. 46-9, Ringwood leading Waynoka. 3:15 to play in the second quarter as Longoria tries to navigate a double team, but ended up stepping out of bounds as Andrew Castillo subs in for the first time today. He'll come in to replace Smith Dunn. Leary slowing things down, crossing the timeline before flipping it over to Balderas left side. He'll reset it back out to Baker before heaving it to Leary once again, throwing it down inside of Thompson, moving from the right block. And once again, just that same move, getting to the right block, turning and laying it in. 48-9, Ringwood on top of Waynoka. 2:50 to go in the first half. Castillo from the left side, driving baseline, has his shot, just could not get it to fall. And sometimes the iron just a bit unkind as Anderson able to tap that one back out to himself. Leary able to get the ball on the reset with a quick pass out to Baker, right wing over to Leary once again, hands it back off to Baker. 2:33 to go in the first half. Balderas sends it over to Baker. He heaves up a left side triple. That one clangs off just a bit short. Baker able to track his own shot back down. Fires the pass, intercepted away by Castillo. As Castillo able to get across the timeline, makes his way near their left block, looking for someone to hand it off to, finds George, quickly back out to Homertime with a long pass to Longoria, right wing, back out to Homertime, who will reset back to Longoria, down to Truesdale. Truesdale goes around to George screen and is able to lay it up and in. Cooper Truesdale able to get on the board. 48-11 with 1:56 to go in the opening half, and a jump ball as Homertime able to get his hands on it. Ringwood will keep possession on the jump ball. The inbound goes to Leary, quickly giving it off to Baker. Baker finding Anderson from the right block, kicking it back out top of the key three for Leary, and that one just a bit off to the side. Thompson goes back up strong with the putback, spins around, and in. 50-11. Ringwood on top of Waynoka. Homertime in the right wing. Thought about it. Longoria deep three, and that one will hit off the back iron, bounce straight up and out to Leary. Leary now running in the fast break with Anderson at a 2-on-2. Leary scoots around the entire Waynoka defense and able to lay that one in. And just a nice athletic play there by Leary, able to beat out three different defenders. 1:19 to go in the first half. 52-11, Ringwood on top of Waynoka. It's Castillo from the left wing, dribbling back towards the top of the perimeter, throws a pass, Homer Time able to sky for the ball, gives it back over to Castillo, now right wing, finding Homer Time once again, dishing it over to Longoria for a left side triple. That one just clangs back out, tipped for the ball. George able to go back up, had his shot tipped away, back in the arms of Castillo though, it resets to Longoria, right side triple, that one just a bit too strong. Truesdale able to get his hands on it, hands it back off to Longoria, back out to Castillo, resetting left side, he throws up a three, and that one banks in. 52-14, and Castillo nearly able to get a steal and a pass for Baker. Lobs it down to Anderson. Anderson to the free throw line. Moves around, and his shot just squirrels out, but Anderson able to get the offensive rebound. Kicks it back. Baldera's top of the key three. He can't answer. Anderson with another offensive board. Goes up for attempt number 3. Can't get it. And Thompson able to put up a shot. He can't get that one to fall either. Truesdale finally able to collect the ball. Gets it away to a streaky Longoria. 20 seconds to go in the first half. And the ball gets tipped around off the foot of a Red Devil and out of bounds. With 17 seconds to go in the first half as Colin Myers subs in for the first time today for Waynoka. 52-14, Ringwood on top as the inbound goes to Homer Time for a left side triple, and he drains that one. Homer Time able to get his first 3 of the day to make it 52-17 as Anderson caught the ball in center court and then gets hit. That foul is going to be on Homer Time, and that's his 3rd. 7 seconds to go in the opening half, and a 52-17 lead for Ringwood as the inbound goes to Leary, down to 5 seconds. Finding Balderas for a left side 3, giving it off to Baker with 2 seconds to go. Finding Leary, Anderson tipped it around, and Myers able to intercept it, and that will be the end of the first half as Ringwood with a 52-17 lead over Waynoka. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll recap the first half with Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
What do you look for in a good ag lender? Local decision making? Quick responses on questions? Personalized business packages with a focus on your financial goals? Guidance with the latest technology? On-site visits with respect for your time and your schedule? Well, if that sounds good to you, you should give us a call. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the leader in ag lending.
Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, an equal housing lender, online at farmcreditloans.com.
We are very fortunate to live, to work, and to be able to play in this part of the world. We're also thankful for all of our blessings, our friends, and our neighbors in and around the Waynoka area. One of our big blessings is having our own animal doctor. That's Dr. Michaela Zook. Dr. Michaela Zook is now located in downtown Waynoka and can be reached at any time by telephone, 580-554-0226. Dr. Michaela Zook. One more blessing at our hometown veterinarian.
Clean Harbors, hazardous waste disposal and recycling services provide the widest range of recycling, treatment, and disposal options for all your hazardous waste streams. Unmatched in North America, our infrastructure of hazardous waste management facilities services all of the U.S. and Canada, northern Mexico, and Puerto Rico. We handle both drum and bulk hazardous waste in liquid, solid, semi-solid, sludge, and gas forms. One call handles all your hazardous waste disposal needs. Located in Waynoka, where we proudly support our railroaders.
America's Oasis, a whole new world of off-road delight. America's Oasis, joining the north edge of the Little Sahara State Park just south of Waynoka, is open for business, and they invite you and your family to come stay and play. To explore all the possibilities, go to their website, americasoasis.com, and see the many ways you can come to Northwest Oklahoma and play in the sand. America's Oasis, an amazing concept. You have to experience it to believe it. Come visit America's Oasis, just south of Waynoka, the little city by the sand.
Welcome back to Ringwood. Kate Kennedy here with you as we are at halftime. Ringwood with a 52-17 lead over Waynoka at the break. And looking at scoring totals, how everything has played its way out so far. Starting with Ringwood, Anderson leading the way with 22 points in the first half. Leary with 10, Baker with 7, and then 5 points for Elias, 4 points for Thompson, and 4 points for Balderas. And then looking at the scoring for the Waynoka side, looking at scoring for Waynoka, it's Leiden Hammertsheim with 8, and then Andrew Castillo with 3, Weston Longoria with 3, Cooper Truesdale with 2. And then we do have a confirmation on who number 3 was. It's Ross, last name Ross. So we do have that. He does have a point on the day. So we are able to get that information for you at least. So we did get the name. So that's good to know there. And then looking at it scoring-wise for Waynoka, that is how it all adds up. 52-17, Ringwood on top here at the half. So, folks, we'll take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll get the keys to the second half. We're still here with Waynoka basketball on KALV.
Alva State Bank and Trust Company, older than Oklahoma, big enough to serve you and small enough to know you.
We love to give back to our customers. Did you know Alva State Bank offers a great rewards checking account program? That's right. You can earn cash back or high interest with our Kasasa accounts. We will even refund you up to $25 in ATM fees.
How do I qualify?
It's simple. Just swipe your debit card 12 times, sign up for online statements, and have one ACH credit or debit post to your account.
Can I do it online?
Yes. Just visit our website at www.alvastatebank.com to see if our Kasasa Rewards program is right for you. We make banking easy. Whether you're at home, the office, or in your car, our online or mobile banking options help you juggle busy schedules and financial needs.
We plant roots where others have branches.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Warm up with a class at Northwest Technology Center this month. Choose one of our evening classes, including computer fundamentals, cooking, health-related courses, business development, and much more. Northwest Technology Center also offers training for your business at your convenience. Contact us today for more information at 580-327-0344 in Alva or 580-227-3708 in Fairview. Northwest Technology Center is preparing students for success in education, careers, and life.
Rachel's Cafe in downtown Waynoka is like its owner. Beautiful. From the front door, clear through. You'll love the look, the feel, and you'll love the taste at Rachel's Cafe. With a full menu and a daily special, Rachel's is burgers, calf fries, and much, much more. Open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 to 4 and Friday and Saturday from 11 to 7 p.m. Say hi to Rachel and her great staff in downtown Waynoka.
Welcome back to Ringwood. Here still at halftime, Ringwood with a 52-17 lead over Waynoka as we've got about 2 minutes to go until the second half is underway. Looking at keys to the second half for both sides. For Ringwood, I mean, there's really not a whole lot you would need to change there, as Anderson able to control the way with 22 points for the Red Devils. And Ringwood's been very good in terms of getting threes, in terms of getting offensive rebounds and extending possessions. That's a little bit of what Waynoka is going to have to do to continue to try to claw back into this game, is just find a way to limit those second chance opportunities that Ringwood's been able to get. And then if you're Waynoka, I mean, Leiden Hammertsheim's been able to get going a little bit. He's got 8 so far, as we've already mentioned, just continuing to find some confidence. This is a Ringwood team, we talked about it, on a little bit of a winning streak, was 1-12. They've won their last 2 games. They're continuing to try to build more momentum. If you're Waynoka, it's a similar situation that you were in the second half of the O'Keene game. That was a game where O'Keene came out, had a 34-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. And for Waynoka, it was just, can you roll with the punches in the second half? Can you continue to just try to win that second half? And it was a hard-fought second half for both sides there in that game. And if you're Waynoka, you're going to have to kind of do a similar thing where you just got to roll with the punches here. Still a young team, still continuing to figure it out as the season goes along. The closer and closer we get to tournament time, every game is just a little bit more learning experience as this season goes along. And unfortunately, sometimes you get games like this where one team could get a lot of their shots, could create a lot of second chance opportunities, the ball flies their way, and sometimes it just doesn't. As we are just about ready to get the second half underway here in Ringwood. As it will be Roland George able to get the second half start as he's able to get it into Homer Zine. Homer Zine from the top of the perimeter, drifts to his right before getting it over to Longoria, finding Homer Time once again. As Longoria back in the right wing, sends it Homer Time's way, will send it back to Longoria before flinging it over to Smith Dunn for a long two just inside the left arc. Not able to get that one to go as George tips it right back over to Anderson, who quickly finds Balderas. Balderas standing at center court, the Ringwood Red Devil logo. Ringwood going from right to left across your radio dial. Waynoka going from left to right. As Baker hands it off to Leary. Leary will fire it inside to Elias from the free throw line. Back out to Balderas. Left side triple. Can't get that one to go. And Elias, right place, right time at the left block. Gives it back to Leary, who balled the ball. Scooped up by George, giving it away to Longoria. As Longoria able to give it back to drive inside. Can't get his shot to go. Homer Time put up a shot. That one won't fall either on the second chance opportunity. Leary on a fast break drives inside. Had the ball poked away at the very end. A good job there by Homer Time, able to track it back down. 6:58 to go in the third quarter. 52-17 still the score in favor of Ringwood. As Balderas on the inbound, able to get it into Anderson for the right block. Kicks it back out to Leary on the wing. Drives inside with the flow that spins in and out. And Truesdale able to snatch the board and give it away to Longoria. As Longoria drives inside, kicks it back out to Homer Time for a right side triple, and he's able to knock that one down. 11 points now for Homer Time. It makes it a 52-20 ball game, still in favor of Ringwood as Anderson drives inside, gives it to Elias. Elias loses the ball momentarily, flips it back to Anderson, who's able to lay it in. 54-20 Ringwood on top of Waynoka. 6:23 to go in quarter number 3 as Longoria drives inside from the right block. George saves the ride back to him. Fight for the ball ensues. Kick back out to Smith Dunn, who sits for the ball on the left wing. Tries a three, and that one just a bit too strong off the back iron. Elias skying for the ball and able to clear it away to Leary. As Leary looks to slow things down with 6 minutes to go in quarter number 3 before spinning it over to Baker, who quickly finds Elias at the top of the perimeter, finding Leary once again for a left side three. That one just a bit too strong. Homer Time able to snare that one away, sprint across center court, and kick it away to Longoria on the right wing, finding Truesdale, bobbled it. Smith Dunn has a pass smacked away by Leary. Leary going coast to coast and able to lay it in. 56-20 Ringwood on top of Waynoka. 5:32 to go in quarter number 3. Smith Dunn on the extended left side, drives to his left, back around the elbow, kicks it out to George for a three, and that one will clank off. Again, just right on the money until it goes just a little bit too high as Anderson tries to take it coast to coast, flips it back over to Lear from the right block, and he's able to spin it up and in. 58-20. Ringwood on top of Waynoka. 5:10 to go in the third quarter as Homer Time on a pass loses it out of bounds, and back to Ringwood. It's Balderas on the inbound, able to get it into Leary. He strolls across center court before spinning it to Elias. Thought about a three from the left side. Didn't want to pull the trigger. Instead gives it back to Leary, who dumps it into Anderson. Had the ball bounce off him. Longoria able to poke it away. As Longoria now going to fly inside. Had his shot knocked away by Elias. Possession will stay with Waynoka as Longoria will inbound on the right baseline. 4:49 to go in quarter number 3 as a pass intended for Homer Time, tipped away by Leary off of Homer Time. And out of bounds, back to Ringwood. It's Balderas able to get it into Leary. Going up against the 2-3 zone of Waynoka. As Leary from the left wing finds Anderson, turns, fires, not able to get his shot to go. Millage able, or check that, Truesdale able to sky for the ball. As Longoria dancing around center court, trying to navigate around a double team, looking for somewhere to go, and a timeout going to be called first by Coach Strait. With 4:20 to go in the third quarter, going to be a 30-second timeout by Coach Strait. 58-20. Ringwood on top of Waynoka. This quarter brought to you in part by Chimney Rock Mini Storage on the south edge of Waynoka. Larry and Linda Zook supporting all things in Northwest Oklahoma that make our community the best. And give them a call at 580-824-1042. That's 580-824-1042. It's Ringwood here with the 58-20 lead over Waynoka midway through the third quarter. So it'll be Truesdale on the inbound on the near sideline by the Waynoka bench, able to get it into Longoria towards the right wing. He flips it over to Smith Dunn, who heaves up a three from the left side, and once again, just in and out for Smith Dunn. It wants to go in until it doesn't, as Baker able to control the ball and get it away to Balderas. Balderas from the left side, able to hand it back off to Leary near center court. He'll fire it over to Baker, right wing, who will take his spot now in between the two circles. We're giving it to Lears with the extra pass to Leary, dumping it down low to Anderson, who finds Balderas under the basket. His shot rolls around, can't get it to go, but spits right back out to Balderas, who puts it back up and in to clean up his own miss. 60-20, Ringwood on top of Waynoka. 3:42 to go in quarter number three as Longoria tees up a right side three, got it in. Weston Longoria able to answer back and make it 60-23 with 3:30 to go in quarter number three, as Smith Dunn able to knock a pass out of bounds from Balderas. So Waynoka once again getting a little momentum shift here, just able to make a nice couple of plays. Sometimes in a game where you're down 60-23, you're just continuing to try to ride the wave, as mentioned earlier, and create your own momentum. See what you can do with the time you've got here as Balderas fires away a three from the left side, and that one will bounce right back out to Leary. Drives inside, kicks it over to Elias left corner, thought about a three, instead gives it away to Balderas, hoists up a long two, and that one just ends up going a bit short. Homer Time able to get the board, throws it back down, and it's stolen away by Elias, as he's able to lob it back to Balderas from the left block before it's poked out of bounds by Homer Time. Saved right back to, well, Homer Time was the last player to touch it, as he was establishing himself back in bounds, and so that'll be out of bounds and stay with Ringwood. 2:57 to go in quarter number three, and a 60-23 lead for Ringwood, as Wyatt Millage will check into the game. Inbound goes to Leary, fires away a left side triple, can't get that one to fall, but Anderson able to tip it right back to himself before giving it over to Baker on the right wing, who will quickly find Leary. As Leary looking to dump it inside to Elias from the free throw line, who will get it back on the left wing now before giving it down low to Baker from the right block over to Anderson for a long two. Got hit as he shot it. No call there. Millage able to secure the board, then had it turned over as Balderas then loses it. Got the ball and then lost it out of bounds, and it'll be Waynoka's ball. 2:22 to play in quarter number three. Same score, 60-23, favoring Ringwood. Longoria goes around a Truesdale screen towards center court before giving it off to Smith Dunn, who finds Millage in the left corner before his pass tipped back away, and then a foul on Smith Dunn. That'll be the first foul on Titan Smith Dunn. That's the first foul of the quarter with 2:08 to go in quarter number three. It's a quick substitution as Brock will check in for Ringwood. So Leary crossing the timeline, giving it over to Baker, quickly finding Anderson at the top of the key before sending it Leary's way in the extended right side, back around to Balderas, finding Anderson, dumping it down low to Brock, back around Anderson left side, over to the top of the perimeter with Baker, who gives it off to Balderas. Balderas looking to make something happen, instead kicks it back out to Baker. Hoists up a long two, and that one goes off the glass as Truesdale able to fight for the ball and secure it. Is Longoria from the left wing, finding Homer Time over to Smith Dunn for a long three from the corner, and that one just rims out into the arms of Leary. Is Leary able to trot across center court before giving it off to Anderson. Anderson driving inside, and his shot rattles around, won't go down, and it's another board for Truesdale. 1:10 to go in quarter number three, still 60-23, Ringwood on top of Waynoka. Longoria heaves up a three from the right side. That one clangs around. Millage goes up for it. Can't get his shot to falls. It's going to be, looks like a foul on Ringwood. As Waynoka players started to run back one way, and then they said, no, the foul's on Anderson. That's his third. So it's going to be Waynoka's ball. Longoria gives it over to Smith Dunn for a right corner triple, and that one just a bit short into the arms of Balderas. As Balderas slowing things down, drifting across the timeline towards his right side, then gives it off to Baker, who'll send it back over to Brock in between the two circles before giving it off to Larry. Larry nearly had the ball poked away from a double team. Instead, gives it back out to Baker, who'll drift across, walking the baseline before giving it away to Brock back at the top of the key. As Brock shifts inside, and we have a 3 seconds in the lane violation on Thompson, who had checked in, and a few more subs as Elias will come back into the game, and then number 22, Rojas, who we've not seen yet for Ringwood. 34 seconds to go in quarter number 3, and a 60-23 lead for Ringwood. As Longoria waits for a screen from Millage, finally goes around it, tried to fire it back to him, and Rojas instead takes it away. Rojas trying to lead the fast break 3-on-2, instead gives it back to Thompson, and it's over his head, and Truesdale able to pick it off. Truesdale racing inside, gives it off to Longoria. His shot short, and Elias able to come up strong with the board. 10 seconds to go in the quarters. Longoria eventually swipes at Elias and picks up his second foul of the quarter, or second foul of the game with 7 seconds to go in quarter number 3. 60-23 still the score, favoring Ringwood. So the inbound goes to Leary. They cross the timeline, 5 seconds to go, makes his way towards the right wing, gives it over to Rojas for a long 2 inside the right arc, just trying to beat the buzzer, and his shot will clang off, and that will take us to the end of the third quarter, where Waynoka trails 60-23 against Ringwood. We'll take a quick break and be right back with quarter number 4 of Waynoka basketball here on KALV.
What do you look for in a good ag lender? Local decision making? Quick responses on questions? Personalized business packages with a focus on your financial goals? Guidance with the latest technology? On-site visits with respect for your time and your schedule? Well, if that sounds good to you, you should give us a call. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the leader in ag lending.
Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, an equal housing lender, online at farmcreditloans.com.
We are very fortunate to live, to work, and to be able to play in this part of the world. We're also thankful for all of our blessings, our friends, and our neighbors in and around the Waynoka area. One of our big blessings is having our own animal doctor. That's Dr. Michaela Zook. Dr. Michaela Zook is now located in downtown Waynoka and can be reached at any time by telephone, 580-554-0226. Dr. Michaela Zook. One more blessing. And our hometown veterinarian.
Welcome back to Ringwood as we get ready for the start of quarter number 4 as the Red Devils with a 60-23 lead over Waynoka as a shot from Rojas eventually makes its way out of bounds. It'll be Waynoka's ball. It's Longoria working near the Larry Nance court word mark on the left wing, has the ball poked away by Leary, now able to get it back over to Homertime. Homertime driving baseline with a long pass caught by Smith Dunn, back out towards that extended left side, resetting to Longoria. 7:25 to go in the ball game. So Longoria gives it over to Homertime. He hoists up a 3 from the right side, and that one will make its way out of bounds back to Ringwood. 7:16 to play now. Quarter number 4, same score, 60-23. Ringwood on top here on their homecoming night as Larry throws a pass, bounces off the leg of Millage, and then tries to clear it back out to Rojas, where it bounces off Rojas, who's able to clear it away to Elias. As Elias in between the two circles, able to find Brock on the left wing, will bounce it back to Leary, who'll lob it over to Elias. Gives it back to Rojas, over to Leary once again on the left wing, sizes up, fires away a 3, can't get his shot to go down. Said it's going to be saved by Elias, who's out of bounds. 6:43 to go in the ball game. Truesdale able to inbound to Longoria, fires over to Smith Dunn, back to Longoria, all action on the left side, finds Smith Dunn in the corner for a long 3, and that one once again hits off the back iron and goes out into the arms of Thompson. Leary able to give it back over to Elias. Thought about a three, sized up, pass tipped out of bounds by Millage. 6:18 to go in the ball game, and a quick substitution as Andrew Castillo will check in for Titan Smith Dunn. It's Ringwood on the inbound, able to get it into Leary, who operates from the left corner all the way back out towards center court, flicking it over to Elias. Thought about a three on that wing, but instead gives it back to Brock at the top of the key. Spins around, bounces it back to Leary. We'll dump it down inside to Thompson. Thompson turns, fires, and able to lay it up and in. 62-23, Ringwood on top of Waynoka's. Longoria loses the ball at the right elbow, stolen away by Leary. Leary leading the pack, drives inside, can't get his layup to fall. Rattle around, Castillo able to control the board and draw a foul with 5:44 to go in the ball game. The foul is on Brock, that's his first. Longoria able to give it over to Castillo. Castillo tees up a left corner three, and that one just a bit too strong. Thompson able to secure it. It's Leary bouncing it inside to Brock at the free throw line. Kicks it back over to Rojas, right side. Drives in, gives it back out to Brock. Will dish it over. Actually, will keep it himself. Thought about passing him, but instead spins around, and a timeout going to be taken by Ringwood with 5:19 to go in the ball game. 62-23. Ringwood on top of Waynoka. So while we have this break in the action here, we do want to remind you about a couple of things. The Share Medical Center blood drive will be on Tuesday, January 27th. The blood mobile will be at Share Medical Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information about that, see Coco Burton. And then the other big event coming up on the 19th, only a few days away, Monday evening at 6:30, the annual Waynoka 4-H and FFA trophy auction is coming up. That'll be at the Waynoka School. So a lot going on around Woods County coming up in the next week and a half or so. Of course, there'll be Waynoka basketball on Tuesday, the 20th. They'll be at home taking on Burlington, and then it's out to Buffalo for 3 days at the Buffalo tournament. We'll have that action for you on KALV. $5:19 to go in the ball game, and a 62-23 lead for Ringwood. As the inbound for the Red Devils goes to Leary. He'll quickly fling it over to Elias, back to Brock at center court. Finding Leary, he'll dump it down to Rojas in the right block. He fires up a shot, and that one just a bit off. Millage able to trap it. Millage able to give it away to Homer Time. Homer Time drives inside, tries to split a double team. His shot bounced around, would not go down. Thompson able to get his paw on it. 4:50 to go in regulation. Still a 62-23 lead for Ringwood as Elias in the left wing able to fling it back out to Brock, who will send it inside. It gets bounced away and into the arms of Homer Time. As Homer Time slows things down, now firing back over to Ross. Ross thought about a three in the right wing, hoists one up, and that one just off the front iron. Rojas able to track it back down. Truesdale gets his arms on it. Rojas goes to the floor, fires it over to Thompson. Ross gets involved, and it'll be a jump ball. 4:24 to go in the ball game. 62-23. Ringwood still on top of Waynoka as it'll be Homer Time on the inbound from the right baseline, directing traffic, trying to figure out where everyone is, trying to make sure the right plays run. Gets it off to Mills. She will kick it out to Ross for a corner three. Can't get his shot to go, and instead Brock able to scoop it up and clear it away to Rojas. Rojas able to find Leary. Rifle it over to Elias, dump it down low to Thompson. Thompson from the left block, able to just creep it over the iron and in. As Thompson has all 4 points in the quarter for either side. 4 minutes to go in the ball game, and a quick foul, looks like on Elias. That'll be his fourth, and it's a foul to bring the second unit in for Ringwood. There's a whole host of Red Devils come in. A few we haven't seen yet today, and a few that we have as Ross fires a three from the right side. That spins out. Millage goes up strong with it. Still in a fight for it. Several different Red Devils in the area. Kick back out from Ross over to Homertime. Trapped in the right corner. Dumps it down to Colin Myers, who checked into the game, and he's able to lay it up and in. That makes it 64-25. Ringwood on top of Waynoka. 3:30 to go in the ball game. As Balderas from the top of the perimeter gives it over to Baker. As Baker lobs it back towards Balderas, looking for somewhere to go and direct traffic with it on the left side. Instead gives it back to Baker, who will dump it down low to a wide open Thompson, who's in for the first time today, who will give it back off to Balderas, fling it around to Baker once again, who resets to Anderson. As Anderson finding Baker, tries to give it back to Anderson, and there's nobody there as he goes over and pounds it into the hardwood for the turnover. 3 minutes even to go in the ball game. Ringwood with a 64-25 lead over Waynoka as Homertime tees up a deep three. Can't get that one to fall. Instead, it's tipped around into the arms of Balderas. Balderas continues to drive towards his right. Kicking it back around to Baker, who'll dump it inside to Anderson for the free throw line. Anderson moves in, has his shot blocked away by Millage, but first a foul. That'll be the first foul of the game on Wyatt Millage. .240 to go in the ball game. So it'll put Anderson at the line, who's 24 points on the day. First free throw on the way, and that one spins out. As Anderson takes a couple of dribbles, fires away free throw number 2, and that one rattles around and in to give him a 25-point effort on the night. 65-25, Ringwood leading Waynoka. 2:30 to go in the ball game as Ross flings it inside for Myers and just a bit too far in front of him. Out of bounds back to Ringwood. It's Balderas continuing to operate at the point. We're giving it over to Spomer, who tries a three. In for the first time today is Spomer. They'll give it back to Balderas. Drives inside, head full of steam. Couldn't get it to go. Saved by Thompson. Back out to Spomer. Reset to Anderson. Anderson makes his way inside the right arc before kicking it back out to Balderas. Thought about a three. Instead, over to Anderson once again, who stands in between the two circles. 2 minutes to go in the ball game before clearing it back out to Balderas. Right side triple. That one over and into the hands of Millage. Millage hands it back off to Homertime. Homertime driving inside with a head full of steam. Flips up a wild shot, and that one will be off to Anderson, who bounces it ahead. Stolen away by Ross, but then a travel. They'll give it right back to Ringwood, and another substitution as Rojas checks in for Balderas. .142 to go in regulation, and a 65-25 lead for Ringwood as a quick inbound goes to Anderson, who goes up and in for the score. 67-25. Ringwood on top of Waynoka. It's Castillo from the right wing, gives it back off to Ross. Ross fakes into a three as Baker comes over closer to him before giving it away to Smith-Dunn. 1:18 to go in the ball game. Smith-Dunn drives inside towards the left block, nearly loses the ball, and we're going to have a foul, it looks like, on Rojas. That'll be his first. Quick substitution as Thompson will check back in place of Anderson. As some of the Ringwood players run to the other side, the other half of the team having to call him back and say, it's Waynoka's ball, we got to stay on defense. As Ross on the inbound, right baseline, gives it out to Millage. He'll try a three from the right side. That one just a bit off. Smith unable to get the offensive put back, then that one won't fall either, but tips back out to Castillo. Castillo drives inside with the free throw line. Floater, and that one banks in. That makes it 67-27 in favor of Ringwood. 52 seconds to go in the ball game. As Baker trying to direct traffic with 45 seconds to go in the ball game. Eventually gives it over to Spomer. Spomer tries a three. That one tipped away. Ross and Millage on the scene. As Ross streaking the court, gets towards the right block, spins around, kicks it back out to Castillo. He'll try a three from the right side, and that one rims in and out. Myers able to snatch it, give it back to Smith-Dunn. Top of the key three, and that one will go out of bounds. Myers tried to save it, but ends up going back to Ringwood with 23 seconds to go in the ball game. The inbound goes to Thompson, checks it back to Baker, and Baker will see if he dribbles it out. It looks like he will with 10 seconds to go in the ball game. It looks like he will just continue to dribble it out, and that will be the final score. Ringwood getting a 67-27 win over Waynoka. So Ringwood moves to 4-12 on the season, and that will drop Waynoka to 3-11. So looking at the final totals for both sides here, starting with Ringwood. Anderson ends up going off and having a great effort for him, finishing with 27 points. And then other than that, Leary finishing with 14. 8 points for Thompson, 7 for Baker, 6 for Balderas, and 5 for Elias. And then looking at scoring on the Waynoka side, it's Hammerzheim finishing with 11. And then 6 points for Longoria, 5 for Castillo, 2 for Truesdale, 2 for Myers, and 1 for Ross to round out the scoring on both sides. And so that'll drop Waynoka, as mentioned, at 3-11. They'll have another chance to get back at it on Tuesday when Burlington comes to Waynoka, and then the Buffalo tournament after that. Then for the Lady Rail side, they were able to get their win tonight, 44-39 over Ringwood, to move to 6-8 on the season and drop Ringwood on the ladies' side to 3-13. And that will just about wrap things up here in Ringwood on homecoming night for the Red Devils. As once again, Lady Rails able to get a 44-39 win, and the Rails falling 67-27. For all those who tuned in, we thank you for listening, whether it be on KALV, whether that be the AM 1430, whether that be 99.5 FM in Alva, 97.1 Waynoka, or live on Facebook Live, YouTube, or KALVradio.com. We sincerely appreciate it. We'll be back, but until next time, have a good one, everybody.